This is where you get truth, justice, and the Big Sil's way. Right here on the National Football Show with all of you. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. First 15 minutes is the most essential when it comes to the likes here on the program. We tell you that as transparent as we are. We always start the program off with Big Sil's got a big guest. We're hoping at the bottom of the hour, first hour, Michael Irvin, playmaker. He's going to try to sneak out of his interview when he's done out of the studio with Colin Cowherd, and he's going to immediately jump on with us. We're hoping, we're efforting him. Hopefully we can make that happen for you today at 2:30 Eastern time. Xander will join us in his rightful spot at 3:30, and then, yes, Battle Royale's on. Mark Holmes and Philly 500 both are going to make their appearances. You guys have been absolutely killing it, and we appreciate it, and we thank you. By the way, all Super Chats go to the top. What a great time on the sports calendar right now. The Yankees survived last night. By the way, the national media is killing those fans out in right field. Way to go, Yankee fans. Defend your wall. Defend your wall. It's Yankee Stadium, man. That's called home field advantage. You're damn right. Throw batteries from the 700 level. Veterans Stadium. Defend your wall. Defend your stadium. I'm all over that. Absolutely. Fans, hey, they guys got interviewed after, and they said, hey, man, that's my wall. I defend my wall, and I'm willing to get thrown out of baseball games because this is Yankee Stadium. LFG, baby, let's go. Oh, I love that stuff. National media, because they're all snowflakes, are doing this. Those guys really think they're part of the game. The fans are part of the game, numbnuts. The fans are part of the game. If you've never gone into Veterans Stadium or now Lincoln Financial, or you've never gone up to Buffalo, or if you've never gone to any of these places, you don't really know what you're talking about. I think the fans are essential. I absolutely love it, man. Prince, thank you, brother. Way to get it kicked off here. Get the check toxic, bro. Cheers, JAKIB. Toxic? All you have to do is mention Jalen Hurts. Then he gets toxic. Okay? Seal says hating on the national media. Step your game up. Hey, national media, what would you know about covering fans? Don't you know? And isn't it crazy how the national news media and sports media just take a piss on you guys like you're idiots and you can't decipher things for yourselves and that you think that you need them? I'm not talking, I mean, these media people are under the assumption you need them. I don't need the national media. I make my own assessment on a team I want to root for, what I like, what I don't like. I don't need your stupid filter. Well, the fans shouldn't be involved. Shut up. You ever been to a ball game? People have emotions. Bartman? I don't have a problem with Bartman. It's Wrigley Field. Well, he should. Hey, man, shut up. It's Wrigley Field. Shut up. You're in Jersey when you go up there and you go to a Giants game or a Jets game. Shut up. Just shut up, man. Or when you go to Chicago and you go to Soldier Field, shut up. Fans are part of it too, man. But the national media will talk down to you like you're dumb and you need them. You don't need them. Social media has now made it so you don't need it. I said this 15 years ago, and I'll say it again to you. You don't need them anymore. Oh, you go to social media, you get your own news. You know the number one news source right now in the world is X. Elon Musk has ended the national news networks, and that's why they hate him. It's because the majority of the people now get their information from X or Facebook. They don't get it from the mainstream media any longer, like MSNBC or NBC or CNN or Fox even. I love it, man. And by the way, I am a Yankee fan, and I'm proud of it. And I love what that guy did. I didn't care. You should put a monument out in Monument Park to those two. You saved the series instead of having Aaron Judge get embarrassed. You saved the series. Those two saved Aaron Judge. At least the game. We'll see what happens tonight. Appreciate it. How you doing? By the way, I look at it as a metro area. New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., New York, Boston, that whole area, that's my people, man. Like my wife, when we first moved in together, I took her up to my family, and my wife goes, does everybody up here hate their life? No, they just don't like to be bullshitted. Okay, that's just what, they just don't like to be bullshitted. You can bullshit anybody anywhere else. They're easy to bullshit. Not there, man. Can't have it. It's not going to happen. Okay? Please hit the like button. We appreciate you coming aboard. Week 9 of the NFL starts tomorrow. Week 10 of the college football season, by the way, is going to be underway this weekend. Pretty good weekend of games, too. I love the storylines that we're seeing now in the 2024 NFL season. As I said, Michael Irvin, we're going to effort him at the bottom of the hour here. Xander at 3:30. Battle Royale. No question about it. Okay. I want to throw something out at you here. I posted this on my Twitter page. And this is about your boy Jalen Hurts. And you tell me this, if this is significant or not. Okay? Hey, I have that stat here, and I'll show it to you. With A.J. Brown on the field, Jalen Hurts is 29-7. Without A.J. Brown on the field, Jalen Hurts is 10-12. Playoff record with A.J., he's 2-1. Without, he's 0-2. Completion percentage, he's 66% with, 60.8 without. Pass TD interception ratio, 54-23, which is 2.3, to 26-17, which is 1.4. His passer rating is 96.2 with and 84.5 without. Holy cow, this guy relying on one dude. Guy doesn't carry a football team. He's carried. That guy's carried. He's carried. A.J. Brown's not. Hey, how many places do you see where a wide receiver makes your quarterback better? Shouldn't it be the reverse? The quarterback makes the receiver better? You win games without the guy? I'm just saying here, man. I mean, here's the numbers. Right there. He's 10-12 without the guy in the field. That's elite. Elite is Lamar Jackson. That's elite. Hit the like button, my friends. That's elite. Jalen not even reaching the 20 on the same Hail Mary Jaden just threw. That's what happens when you have a running back, a quarterback. Ready for my Commanders in Philly, baby. Hey, get this. This guy right here is such a dummy. Hey, Fly Eagle fanatic, are you suggesting that Joe Montana was reliant on Jerry Rice? Is that what you're saying? Just to keep it fair here, because I must have missed your first reference. Are you suggesting that Joe Montana was reliant on Jerry Rice? Just let me know, because I want to hear that. Hey, did Eagles lie about supporting Kamala? Oh, I know. I saw all the Eagle guys playing golf with Obama. Yeah, no, I saw that. I was like, wow, they do endorse her. Okay? So wait, are you? Hey, Tyreek Hill was terrible without Tua. Yeah, too bad Patrick Mahomes wasn't terrible without him. He won 2 Super Bowls. Hey, get this guy. Here. Didn't they just trade for a receiver? Yeah, but he hasn't played with them right now, and he's the leading candidate again for the MVP award. Did somebody say Montana was reliant on he won the first Super Bowl without Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice wasn't on that first Super Bowl team. Montana didn't need anybody. Montana went to Kansas City and took them to the AFC Championship game with nobody. Nobody. Okay? Montana didn't need anybody. Montana made him great. Okay? Hey, by the way, the politics, we don't do politics here. I don't care. Politics and sports, I freaking hate it. I do. You pick your own dude or chick who you're going to vote for next week. That's got nothing to do with me. And I don't form my opinions over you. My opinions are formed on your takes, not your politics. I could care less. I don't care who you're having sex with. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you vote for. Has no bearing on my life. Whoever you get on a knee to and pray, I do not care. Has no bearing on my life. Okay, and it's shitting on yours. Jesus, criminy. That's like the nosy neighbor. That's what we have in America today. The nosy neighbor. Who's he voting for? What do you care? Who's he praying for? What do you care? Does he believe in pro-life? What do you care? What's that got to do with you? All I care about is what am I having for dinner tonight? Well, I mean, what am I having for dinner? What's the numbers with AJ without Hurts? AJ hasn't played a football game in Philadelphia without her. Oh, yeah. Well, too bad they didn't have Derrick Henry on that team the whole time. Just hey, man. So Jalen, man, without AJ, don't lose that guy. Don't lose that. Hey, don't lose that guy. Here, look at this. All quarterbacks drop when they lose their first wide receiver. Look at Mahomes without Rashee Rice. Are you freaking nuts? This is the dumbest take. Senor, you are so bad lately. He thinks that Patrick Mahomes' numbers are down because of Rashee Rice. Who believes that? Who believes that? Who believes that? That he's down in numbers this year because of Rashee Rice. Okay. I'll tell him exactly why. Because Travis Kelce is fading as a player. And there's no one else to go to. Don't you think there's a coincidence that Travis Kelce's ability and talents are fading? He's getting older. Mahomes' numbers have gone down. Try to use your brain, senor. Rashee Rice? No. It's Travis Kelce getting older. He's got 38 catches on the year in 8 games or 7 games. I mean, this guy's getting 3 catches a game now. They've got to come up with other ways to win, and they are because they're undefeated. My God almighty, you can't be that stupid. You don't think there's a coincidence that a 36-year-old tight end is starting to slow down? Okay? And not the player he was 5 years ago, but it's Rashee Rice. Who's Rashee Rice? I've never heard of him. I've never heard of that guy. Like he's an impact receiver like Devontae and AJ? Give me a break. Lamar Jackson, get this. Lamar Jackson had Zay Flowers for 8 games, and his stats are terrible. Every quarterback needs a go-to player. Even Mahomes has Kelce as his guy. Correct. There's a go-to comfort zone. Absolutely. I get it. But the one difference between Lamar and Hurts, those guys don't put up significant numbers like A.J. Brown does. Okay. Quote, elite quarterbacks like Holmes do not need elite wide receivers. Correct. Correct. Yes. Yes, all the elite ones don't have superstar like wide receivers right now. Burrow's probably going to lose Higgins. He'll have one. Allen has none. Mahomes has none. And the tight end is not a wide receiver. Okay? Once again, I feel like every day when someone brings some stupidity up and when you put Mahomes and Hurts in the same conversation, it's pathetic. He's had one good game. You've beaten one team with a winning record. Now, Michael Irvin at the bottom of the hour here may completely disagree with me. Get this. So flexing, Rice and Mahomes had a really nice combination. Are you trying to compare Rashee Rice to A.J. Brown or Devontae? Really? I mean, it just sucks because you want to throw shade on Mahomes for sucking this year, but he's won 3 Super Bowls. So he's excused from sucking. Absolutely. And he's going for 3 in a row. And hey, hey, David, I'll tell you what. You could start putting it together and you can start banging on him if he starts losing ball games. You can start doing that. By the way, I believe that's why they went out and they got DeAndre Hopkins. Because again, DeAndre Hopkins is not DeAndre Hopkins of 5 years ago, but they know he needs something because why? Kelsey's slowing down. Okay? Get this here. Let's see what Senor says. See if he can redeem himself. Why does Lamar Jackson not put up stats with first-rounder Zay Flowers, first-rounder Mark Andrews, and King Henry are not elite talent for Lamar Jackson? Once again, last year, this guy won 14 ball games and won the AFC and home field advantage with nobody with numbers, no 1,000-yard rusher, no 1,000-yard receiver, nothing. And he won 14 ball games. They got half the talent on that offense that Hurts has. And he does 10 times more. And by the way, that's not what they do in Baltimore. They pound the ball. They're not a pass offense. That's why. Get this. This guy answers his own question. He can't redeem himself because he's too much of an idiot. That's not what Baltimore does. They're number 1 in the NFL, averaging over 200 yards rushing. That's who they are. That's their identity. That's what they believe in, is running the ball and efficiency on third down. You answer your own question, dummy. That's why there's not significant numbers in Baltimore. If you're a wide receiver like AJ would hate playing in Baltimore. You know why? It would just be solely about winning and not putting numbers up. Except wins. Who's the frontline wide receiver in Baltimore for a 2-time MVP who's 27 years old? Hit the like button, please, guys. Tell me who the number 1 wide receiver is. Zay Flowers? Zay Flowers would be the 3rd wide receiver in Philly. He'd be the 3rd wideout. Zay Flowers would be the number 1 wideout in Kansas City, for sure, because they don't have anybody. Okay? Lamar Jackson has 2-time Super Bowl champ John Harbaugh, 1-time Super Bowl champ. Brian Billick won the other one. Harbaugh's got 1 Super Bowl win in Baltimore. Brian Billick has the other one. Okay? Seals, we know being dependent on AJ isn't sustainable to win a Super Bowl. That's the point. But AJ is so good with the ball in his hands, he shouldn't be force-fed. Dude, my opinion, that's part of the problem here a little bit. But one thing that they're doing now, and again, we started talking about the trend that they're doing. They're starting to resemble Baltimore. Don't you think it's ironic that the number 1 and number 2 team in the NFL have dual threat quarterbacks, and they're finally utilizing it in Philly? Instead of throwing the ball, it is so not important in Baltimore to throw the ball. But you know what you need it? You need it in the playoffs to beat Mahomes and other quarterbacks, and you need it to win a Super Bowl. Let's be candid about Kansas City's win over San Francisco this last February in the Super Bowl. They won it with RPOs and defense. That's how they beat San Francisco. They didn't beat San Francisco throwing the ball. Actually, and I've said it numerous times, Mahomes has really never played a great Super Bowl. He's had brilliant moments. That's the difference with that guy. And by the way, it's not a Hurts thing. That's the difference with that guy and everyone else. He's going to make the critical play in the game instead of making the critical mistake in the game. Mahomes might throw 2 first-half picks, but you know what he's going to do? He's going to throw 3 second-half touchdown throws to win. He's a quarterback that can throw you out of trouble. There's so few of those guys. Dude, that guy doesn't need a running game. I think he has to have one. Pacheco was essential for play-action pass, and I think that's hurt the passing game. There's no coincidence because that's an Andy Reid forte also. He ran the ball in Philly. He ran the ball with Pacheco. Pacheco's a good player, man. And again, another diamond found by Brett Veach. Tremendous. I mean, tremendous. My point is with this AJ thing, I think they're going to get less dependent on him because that's the formula to win. Remember when Keith Byers came on the program that they never played championship football from Thanksgiving on, and he said they were becoming too predictable and going to 2 places, and the defenses started figuring it out, and everyone knew what they were doing? Now you know what's happened with Hurts' running and then upping the uptick in running. What's happened here since the bye? They've had an epiphany. There's no doubt. They've had a course change, which is brilliant. That's great coaching. You want to really hear something that I never said about a Nick Sirianni coaching staff? That's actually great coaching. They had an epiphany. Hey, we got to win this way, not that way. We may want this thing to look like that, and maybe we'll get to that, but we've got to do this to win. And I said it to you. Saquon Barkley has forced their hand. By the way, we're efforting Michael Irvin. At the bottom of the hour, he's doing a hit with Colin Cowherd and the Herd, and he's going to hopefully jump on with us right away. Hurts is the perfect specimen at quarterback. IQ of Peyton, anticipation of Tom, arm of Marino, legs of Vic, aura of Montana, and he squats 600 pounds. Iconic. I think there's a tad bit of sarcasm in that. Hey, okay. I think that's a bit of sarcasm, but thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Seals, Baltimore's the test case for implementing the scheme that fits the quarterback. Totally true. Last week against Cincy, we got to look at what it can be. I'm glad we got a different page in the playbook. How about a different philosophy and a different formulation of what they're doing? I really believe in my heart that they had a come to Jesus conversation. And I really do believe that they got it and they understand it, that this is how they're going to win. They're going to run the football with both men. Hurts is the key to this, though. Saquon Barkley just running, that's like in Baltimore. It's not just Derrick Henry. Dude, you have the 2 most prolific open field runners in pro football in Baltimore. Why in the world would you want to throw to Zay Flowers? That's not going to win. Baltimore's going to line up, and you know what you're also starting to see? Physicality return to Philly. Being physical again is returning. They had a taste of being finesse. They had a taste of it. Now, they're getting, hey, dude, your identity is watching Saquon Barkley run up the sidelines, looking for someone to knock out. A.J. Brown in the blocking game, looking to knock someone out. And then after he catches the football, what he does with the football with yak yards, that's physical football. That's a physical approach that wears teams out. Look at what you did to the Giants in the second half. They quit. They quit in the second half. Dude, let me say this to you. I don't care how many wins you have the rest of the way out. But if you play like you played like you did in Cincinnati, you're going to win the majority of your football games, and you're going to put yourself around the rim where you're going to give yourself a shot at something. I don't know what that is yet, because we have to see who's healthy when you get into the postseason. You don't know that yet. You just don't know that. But I think, again, the stuff with AJ, I think that stuff's going to go away now. You're not going to be relying on him, because the Eagles are relying on Barkley now. Dude, Barkley opens everything up for everyone. Just like in San Francisco with McCaffrey. The one thing missing in San Francisco is what? The main spark plug. You got all these other pieces out there. And when McCaffrey comes back on Monday, he's supposed to start practicing for the Niners on Monday. When he comes back on Monday, that's when you're going to start seeing San Francisco look and resemble a little bit what they've resembled the last couple of years here. Yeah, AJ's still going to get his touches and his targets. But the football team moving forward, here's what I want to see. Are you going to maintain that mentality? Design runs, limit him in passing. Hey, dude, there is no question. Less is more with Jalen Hurts. Less is more. You got a quarterback in Baltimore that has won 2 MVP awards, not throwing over 3,800 yards. It can happen in Philly. That guy wins 70% of his ball games too. He's just got a tougher path to the Super Bowl because Mahomes is in the AFC. He's got to win, though. He's totally got to win. He's got to win in the postseason. I thought those numbers were interesting because you know why? If you think about it, the majority of A.J. Brown's career has been at the behest of Jalen Hurts. Now, you got to play team ball. You got to play team football. Hit the like button, please. We're going to be efforting our friend Michael Irvin. Hopefully, we're going to be able to catch up with him here. Philly committed to running the ball more the past couple weeks. Is it because the empathy, or is it because Malott is hurt? Easier to run block for younger old linemen than it is to pass block. You're right. You're correct. And I think Fred's a better run blocker, and I think Steen's a better run blocker, noted to their past and where they came from out of school. I actually think Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen have done an exceptional job. Exceptional job. Okay? I mean, what time is Big Z on today? 3:30. I'm glad you like this segment. We do too. Crowley, hey, he's not going to be relied on anymore. Purdy better figure it out. Purdy has figured it out. They've weathered the storm. They're 4-4, and they're getting him back Monday. They're getting him back Monday. Absolutely. We're also going to talk a little bit about Nick Sirianni and his presser today. We'll talk about that. We're also going to hit on here something with Howie Roseman here in a second. Okay? I'm very encouraged, like you guys are, that last week was a stepping stone in potentially going back and looking. Get this. And Jalen is a better passer today than he was in 22 and 21. He is. Can you imagine creating those passing lanes and opening up the middle of the field more so he can see across the middle of the field more? The reason that is, and you're seeing more one-on-one, is because of Saquon Barkley. You got to load the box on him. Dude, anytime you have a prolific runner and you have a prolific wide receiver, that receiver benefits more from the runner than what the runner does with the wideout. Why? Got to play closer to the line of scrimmage. I can't let Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley get a head start on me. They'll run me right off the scoreboard. Time of possession, and they're going to hit their head on a goalpost. I mean, the key to Super Bowl for you is not AJ. The key to the Super Bowl is Barkley. Hey, Sills, but look at AJ's numbers. You're not going to win a Super Bowl from the perimeter. You're going to win a Super Bowl from the interior because that's how you build a team. You build it from the inside out, not outside in. Who in the world builds their football team from the perimeter? The Eagles build their team from the inside out. Look at the O-line. The O-line is the most essential part of the football team in the roster. The most talented group, as a group, in Philly is your O-line. Not your D-line, not your backers, not your secondary, not your wide receiver group, not your running back group. Your O-line is the number one part of your team. Okay? Number one part of it. Guys like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen be firing on all cylinders in the first drive stats to be like 7 and 8 passing attempts, 120 yards, but throw an interception at the 10-yard line, didn't score any points. Hey, dude, I'll take a football team that could take a 14-play drive and run it right down someone's throat, because to me, hey, you know that drive that Joe Burrow had that opened up the game? In the end of the day, it meant nothing. The end of the day, it meant nothing. You put a 14 to 17-play drive running the ball, that's like taking body blows. That's going to knock your ass out. Okay? The Joe Burrow 17-play drive meant nothing. Meant absolutely nothing. Okay? Because when the Eagles started running the ball at him, it was over. You spent your show yesterday cherry picking stats. Better start today. Hey, thanks a lot there, kid. Appreciate it. Hurts takeaways from his TD passes with all the tush-push TDs. Hey, listen. Again, cherry picking. I'm not cherry picking the guy. 8 weeks is not cherry picking, dude. It's called a season. That's not cherry picking. Hey, really, Anthony just said I cherry picked the 8 weeks of the NFL season. Cherry picking is going off just the Cincinnati game. That's cherry picking. There's no substitute for physical football. Absolutely true. Being tough with tough guys. Tough guys beat not so tough guys up. Hey, Sills, I don't always agree with you, but since the collapse of last year, I think covertly the Eagles are finally listening to you instead of shutting you up. They know without a doubt they've got to run that kid. They've got to run Jalen Hurts. We're efforting our friend Michael Irvin. I hope we're able to catch him. He said he would do it today. We'll see what happens. See what Prince says. Both can be true. AJ and Saquon are essential to this work. For this to work. Both demand attention which creates openings in the middle of the field. Yeah. But I also happen to think, too, Prince, Hurts' ability to run is also I think the essential parts for you to get to the NFC Championship game, the continuing of the defense to improve, Hurts continuing to run the ball, which will open up the passing game, and AJ continuing to absolutely dominate for everyone else to get open. The only problem is no one else does get open. Hey, Nick Sirianni today defending Jahan Dotson and his non-effort and his non-ability. Hey, can you do me a favor? Michael Irvin's ready. Can you send him the link to his phone right now, Xander? I know you probably sent it to him already, but, we talked about this prior. So he's ready to do it right now. I'm going to say on the way. On the way. So he'll be able to do it right now. Very good. Okay. Send again. I know, Xander. I know. Okay. I'm just going to tell him too, folks. Just sorry to produce right here. Just click it and ready to roll. Cool. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, he's probably as technically sound as I am. Yeah. All right. All right. Right. Hit the like button here. I guarantee you, Michael's going to say that he loves Hurts because I've heard him say it in the past. I can't wait to ask him about AJ. And like I said, hopefully we're able to catch him. Don't forget, Xander Krauss is going to join us at 3:30 and then Battle Royale. They will join us at 4:30, Mark Holmes, and also Philly 500. So we're looking forward to it here. Hey, listen, like I said, that was a really great start yesterday. It was a great start yesterday to the season. That could be a different season inside of a season because you look like a different football team here. You absolutely do. All right, hit the like button here. We are going to also talk a little bit about Howie Roseman and potential deals. If you had to make a deal right now, if you're Howie, do you make an A deal, a B deal, or a C deal as you get closer to November 5th? What type of deal? I've got players too, by the way, that Howie could look at. What type of deal? A B deal. Max Crosby's going to cost you if you go down that route. Okay? Does he have to make a deal? Does he have to? Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it. Does he have to make a deal? All in for Myles Garrett. They're not trading Myles Garrett. Not in my opinion. Big Sales, when the Cowgirls won the Super Bowls, they started on the outside and their line wasn't the best. That's not true. That's not true. Who did they draft? They drafted a quarterback first, Aikman. Then they drafted a running back. They knew they had the line. The line was there from the beginning. They needed the accoutrements around the offensive line, Nick. Those players were there in Dallas. The Kevin Gogans, the Crawford Kerrs, all those guys. Okay? All of those guys. Okay? Hang on, guys. See if this works. Please hit the like button, guys. Okay, I just text him that you sent it to Philly 500's thing. Okay, so I just texted there.
So did you see my text for you?
Yeah, I saw it there, but I just texted that to Michael.
Okay, because I don't think he's opening my text. You know how his phone's probably swamped with unknown numbers, so he don't answer my calls or anything. So
okay, so I just text him this.
All right, sounds good.
Let's see what he does. Thanks a lot, Xander. Click this. See if we can. we're doing our best here to try to make this happen. Let's see if we get this up here now. Steven says, we don't need no one. Keep the young guys. Let them develop like they've been. It's a beautiful thing to see young players develop. And you're seeing that. And plus, to your point, Steven, would that also play a factor when it comes to stopping the growth of some of the younger players? So, yeah. So, okay, we are, I'm going to say this to him now. We're live now. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll give you 10 names here. And you want to land on one of these 10. Trey Hendrickson, Bengals. I mentioned this the other day. Zadarius Smith, Browns. Andrus Peat, Raiders, O-line. These are your top guys that are going to be out there. Those are your guys that are going to be out there. Got to tell you guys, we're going to stop that. We'll get back to that here in a minute. We really appreciate everybody coming aboard. And I got to tell you, man, I wore this right here for my guy because I got to get it going here, man, because I see Michael on the sidelines now, man, and he is absolutely killing it. By the way, he was awesome on the herd just a couple minutes ago, and he was absolutely killing it there with the herd. And I love watching him on the sidelines. Dude, I think he's got a private jet or he's using Jimmy's now because he's over with Colorado. Then he flies back and he's with my Canes. This guy's all over the place here, man. And I'll tell you what, I so love him. We go back 40 years as friends, and I just love Michael Irvin so much, and I have so much admiration for him. And he's found time for us right now. Let's bring in the playmaker, Michael Irvin. How you doing, man?
D, what's up, my brother? How you doing, my brother? It's so good to see you.
I had to put it on here, man. I had to put it on.
D, you doing your thing out there, man. Hey, and you know what's so great, D? That you're wearing it, that people are carrying it, and it has the respect that it deserves on its name again. And I gotta give credit to those dudes, man. And I gotta say to those dudes too, you know, thank you for letting me even be out there and engage with them. Seal, we'll never live that shit again in our life, Seal.
Never.
It was the best time of our life.
Never. I'm gonna tell. I told Michael this story before, and I'm gonna tell all of you guys again. Michael Irvin was 17 years old. He had a clock around his neck, and he used to run around. He used to run around Green Tree. Practice was over. One day, I'm walk up to him. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You see this? 4.5. I'm a Hall of Famer."
That's it.
He goes like this. I'm a Hall of Famer. He was 17 years old when he said that. He goes, I'm a Hall of Famer. Mike used to run a mile frontward and then a mile backwards. And he was working on how he would contort himself in the air. So when he went up, he was doing all of this stuff. But then again, we were all doing all that stuff after practice because that's the kind of place we had. Now we get Jimmy. We had Tony Weiss on the other day and Butch and Dave Wannstedt. We had all those guys on. And you're right, Michael. We'll never see anything like that again. But are you feeling a little bit of it down there at Miami where it's a little bit like it used to be?
Well, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you what's great, man. Those dudes are getting it. And that's why it was so important to me. Like, right, okay, let me give you this. Nobody knows this. You know, Coach called me. You know, Coach Cristobal, Coach called me. He said, Michael, listen, I need you to come in and speak with the team. This was in the off season. He said, we're just going to have a big meeting. I want you to speak with the team about what it takes. It's got to be our year, So I came in and spoke with the team about what we did and what it really takes. And honestly, what you're talking about, they're passing out these green shirts now when you go to the game. Still, I have one for you. It says, Green Tree made me.
Yeah.
Green Tree made you.
Yeah, well, yes.
Green Tree made you. Green Tree made me.
Hello, ground.
Now, because that's how, like what you're talking about, That was what we say Green Tree made of. Right here, working right here. The games were just bonuses. That's just bonus. That's just bonus. The green. And so now they're getting back to that. We're 6-0. We're 6-0. And I was going to meet the team, because Coach told me, man, they need to see you on the sideline, Michael. He says it's important. Coach, I love him so much, man. He said to me this. He went so far as saying, he said, Michael, I just need them to see you. I need them to see you on the side. He said, I'll pay for the ticket. I said, Coach, what the hell you got, man? Come on, stop playing, man. He said, I'll pay for your ticket to get over here, man. I just need you, But so I want people to think, it's not me jumping in.
No,
This is
no
all
way.
strategic. This is strategically what Coach has been doing. This happened before the season. And I'm going to tell you, Dave, because, and this is why I feel obligated, because think about how we've been talking to these kids. We've been saying what it's like if you uphold a standard. You go out here and win. You go do what you're supposed to do. You'll see what it's like. You'll see a different world. And now they're doing that. So we got to make sure we show up and show them that different world. These things must reciprocate each other in order to have what we had. They got to come together. That's why we did, I don't know, 5th or 6th straight game. You couldn't whoop our ass down in Miami. You better not come down in Miami.
Absolutely not. Mike, when you show up and I see you on the sidelines like that, I tell people that's the greatest teammate I've ever had. And everything he does, that's not for
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that do it and they love the media and all that. I'll tell you what Mike does that for is because that guy loves Miami. I mean, he's Miami. If there is one teammate that we have ever had and one guy that represents our program, it's you on the sidelines. Because, Mike, I showed pictures of all of us when we were younger and how you were then. Dude, you're no different today than you were back then. That's the passion that you had for the joint. So everyone knows that who played with you there knows this. That's genuine. And when we were all genuine together, that's what really made us. Like you said, Green Tree, holy cow, the inside drills, the 9-on-7s, all that stuff that we did there. I got to tell you, man, that's the field of champions.
Yeah,
it's the field of champions.
See, we were talking about them toilet bowls, buddy. Toilet bowls. Let me explain to people what toilet bowls are so they understand. Toilet bowls were the Monday scrimmage. After the Saturday game, everybody that did not play in the game had to play in that toilet bowl. And I'm talking about you saw some dogs in that toilet bowl. These were the guys that didn't even make our traveling squad. Waiting on us to come back home, we would all line up and they would have a scrimmage. And I'm talking about in that scrimmage, they were proving to us, I deserve to be playing with y'all. It was them toilet bowls was some real games.
Hey, and by the way, those kids would all go on to be first rounders and guys that would go on to the National Football League. Mike, I have to, because we're based in Philly. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in the NFL? Do you think he's an elite player?
Listen, I think he is absolutely an elite player, and even being more elite, being more than an elite player, he's an elite leader. Aaron Rodgers is an elite player. He's an elite player, but his elite player goes to this team. He can't make that team elite because you got to be a quarterback that everybody knows that you are for them, and you cannot just be for him. You see what I mean? So that's what Jalen Hurts has. Now, we talk about the up and down play. His up and down play is up and down according to when Big Boy is up or down.
Yeah,
and that's A.B. Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's A.J. Brown right there. When he's up, he's up. When he's down, it's down. Because he's the cover-up receiver. He's that area code receiver. As long as I got that fella, I can put the ball up and make great plays. That's what he needs. And yeah, he is definitely an elite quarterback.
Mike, do you see similarities in A.J. Brown's game to your game? Because, Mike, you were sensational. And I say this, even with Jerry Rice in your prime, and when you played against him and you guys were in the same era, I said this, I'll tell you what, man, jump balls, Mike's getting it. After the catch, that's where that guy made his money, man, because nobody could get him down on the ground. And that's kind of what you see here with A.J. Brown. Do you see some similarities on how he plays the game with his physicality like you did?
Yeah, I love him. And not just his physicality, because that's certainly there, and he's big, he's strong, but his personality. He is him. He knows that, and he carries that. You got to have that, dude. So you see me putting in the work. I needed you to see me put in the work, Shield. So when I come to you and say, hey, make one stop, and we'll get it from there. I wanted you to know it was meant. You make one stop, we'll take it from there. And we had those kinds of commitments and those kinds of promises made to one another. So we were able to go and do great things. You know what I tell these dudes, man, when I'm on that field and I'm talking to these guys, I try to tell them, man, I said, dude, listen, I know you think this is just a game. I said, but it's not just a game. When we're in Cal, when we're in Louisville, I said, right here, right now, determines how you live the rest of your damn life. When you win in games like this, you win in life. When you come up short, we come up short, and we're not coming up short. But that's true, Seal. That's true. When you win in games like that, you win in life.
I loved you as my teammate, man. We've been friends 40 years, and I still, you give me goosebumps, man. I mean, the one thing that you're talking about now, Mike, that you instilled in both the Canes, it's funny. The attitudes we had with the Canes and the attitudes the Cowboys had when you were playing with the Cowboys. I think that's the one thing in the last 30 years. I don't feel the love of the game. I mean, Jerry Jones, and I know you love him. I love Steven. Steven is a great friend of mine, all of that, right? But the one thing they've never replaced, they've tried to replace you with Dez, with CD. They've tried to replace Troy. But the one guy they couldn't replace is Jimmy. They could not replace the talent evaluator and the guy and the motivator and the guy who knew how to hire assistant coaches. Is that a fair comment?
It's a fair comment, but nowadays you got to also recognize the difference in those that you are motivating. We had Jimmy, and Jimmy motivated from a position of authority. Dominion over. Y'all will do, or we gonna know something. And now with the money these guys are getting, it can't be dominion over. It has to be partnership with, because you can't just cut them like you want to anymore. So now, with that other ability Jimmy had, Jimmy could be tough, Jimmy could be hard, but Jimmy also knows how to push your buttons and get you going. You see, and that's the other side. When you come to partnership side, you got to work on not just the X's and O's, but really the Jimmys and Joes, and work in partnership and understand how to push these guys without losing these guys, because quite honestly, they're from a different place at a different time now. So yeah, Jimmy was great at that, and that's what you need in today's game. That's why I'll say the Cowboys have players they've had over the last few years: 12 wins, 12 wins, 12 wins. That's 36 wins. Those are a lot of games winning in there. You see, and you've gotten to the playoffs. All you want to do is get to the playoffs. People like to blame Jerry, and I don't mind putting blame on Jerry. Jerry didn't make any moves this year. Had an opportunity to go get Derrick Henry. He didn't go get Derrick Henry. Put all of that on him. Put all of that. But what I won't have is when I get people saying, well, Jerry's distracting them because he has these tours come through here and all of these people are walking by. I said, are you shitting me? Get out of here. Wait, let me just write. So you made a deal to be part of the growth, right? When we were playing, you can make $10 million a year. That thing is up to $60 million a year. You want it to be $60 million? You got to take a few people watching you eat lunch. I'm saying, stop messing around. Stop telling me you're being distracted. For the extra $50 million, you can watch me eat lunch, and I can still go win some Super Bowls. You understand what I'm saying?
Couple last questions for you, Playmaker. Did you enjoy playing on Saturdays more or Sundays more?
Man, when it's all taken away, man, that distinction gets blurred. You just cringe and crave getting back on the field, period. I can take the Little League field right now. You know what I'm saying? Just to walk out on that field, man, with you and another 52 men going there and impose our will. We'll never get to do it. I'm hurt because I can't even play basketball anymore. I just want to go argue a foul, some kind of competitive thing. You know what I mean? Foul. Hey, you foul, boy. You foul. Give me the ball. I ain't get the ball. You know what I mean? Just go argue a foul. I just want to compete, buddy.
Man, I love it, Mike. Mike, Detroit, Eagles, and who? Best teams in the NFC right now.
Well, you still
Are
put
those the two
Minnesota
best?
in. You put Minnesota in there. You put Minnesota in there. But Detroit and the Eagles are right now probably up there on the top. But I would throw Minnesota in there. And I've still got San Francisco in there.
Yep.
You know, those guys are going to get healthy. And when they do, and honestly, I think this is a blessing in disguise for San Francisco in a way, because look at it. Everybody said Brock Purdy was just a system quarterback, and he had all these players around him. Now he found a way to win with the Dallas Cowboys with not all those guys around him. So he's going to be able to come away from that stigma that will raise his whole, mentality about himself. And I think when they get everybody back, yeah, they'll be rolling again.
Couple personal things here. How's the family?
My family's good, man. Family's good. Keep everybody in your prayers, Seals. And I'm always keep everybody in my prayers.
You do
on your side, buddy. I love you to death, brother.
I know. And Mike, I'm one of the Jerome. Someone asked me the other day in Philadelphia. They go, "What do you think Jerome would think of how?" And by the way, get this, Mike. Brooksville sent me this, and because of Jerome's golf tournament that I used to go up and do.
Yeah, they still have that.
They do still have this, and get this. So they sent this to me, and all of my friends here, some of my teammates from the Buccaneers, like Dawsey and Mark Carrier, and these guys were on there, and Seth Joyner and all these guys. But I'll tell you one thing, man. You mentioned it, playing with that guy and having him next to me. Someone asked me, how would he think about some of the stuff that you said over the years? I'd go, you should have been in our locker room.
Right.
You should have been in our locker room, because it was like the UN in there, man. How many arguments? Hey, here's one for folks here. Dan Derwin, they need to call you Gray. And what are them shorts you wearing there, dog?
Well, he's so black. He's so black. Derwin's so black up in there, boy. Look at all that dust on his leg, boy. Hey, boy. Hey, Doug. So you ever told him hey, Jerome Brown, y'all understand, Jerome Brown was is a hero, man. Did Axe ever tell you about the recruiting trip when he go with the recruit Jerome Brown?
No.
He said he went. Coach Axe was my guy. God bless him. Rest in peace.
God bless Axe.
He said Axe was such a good man. He said he went down. He was in Brookville, and they were over there talking. Jerome Brown's dad was working on the car.
Really?
The car fell off the bricks when they were talking. Boo-doo-doo. And he was like, he thought Jerome Brown's dad was going in the trunk to grab the jack. He was going to help him jack the car up. He said, the dude opened the door and said, Jerome, the car fell off the bricks. Jerome came, got the car, lifted off the bricks. Lifted. They put the bricks back on and set the car down. Axe said, man, I threw 3 scholarships on the table. Please, sign right here.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, one last one here for you. So Cortez Kennedy had to go to junior college, and Jimmy brought him in on a recruiting trip. And I'm in the weight room, and Jerome and I are in the weight room together. And Jerome goes like this. He goes, hey, we're going to take Cortez out. Miss Rose Kennedy goes like this. I don't think so. Not from what I hear. Now, I go, what? I'm not doing it. That's his fault. He's the guy. I didn't do it. Jerome's like, this. What are you talking about, man? I'm like, God, I love Tez, man.
Right. That's right. Cortez came when he at that time. Remember that, boy. Yeah, they were like, oh, no, sir. But hey, think about that, though. Think about you guys with Cortez, with Russ. Man, that's a hell
Jimmy
of a
Jones. Jimmy Jones,
that's a hell of a Derwin James.
All them guys, wait a minute. Hey, I tell people, they go, how come you didn't ever want to come out of games? I go, you see the guys I got behind me? I got Cortez Kennedy, Russell. I'm not coming out of any goddamn game. That's not going to happen, because I got all these dudes that go on the National Football League. it's funny though, man. Every one of us, Stubbs and Hawkins and all these guys, we all got drafted in the first 2 rounds. And I say, and I leave with you with this, Mike. Do you think our Canes can go to the Final Four this year?
Oh, I definitely think they'll get a great shot to get to that Final Four. Now, I absolutely believe they have the offense to get to the Final Four. Now, we got to tighten up some things on defense, but I'm watching that defense grow. You know, we got a lot of guys that have been out, and Bain is coming back and he's rounding in shape now. So yeah, this is going to be great because we got a shot to do it all because we can match anybody score for score. Now, so as long as we keep improving that defense, yeah, things are tied down.
Mike, I just got my vote for the Bolitnikoff Award. Should I vote for our guy?
It's a bad boy, man. But I like when you sent me that vote, we had 2 dudes on there. I was like,
yeah,
this is great. This
yeah,
is
no,
real.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's real, dude. And I love Coach Cristobal the other day standing up and putting that little nail right in the coffin over there saying, look at the programs in this state. We the only one headed in the right direction. You know
Mike,
what I'm saying?
Hey, there is nothing like going up to 1986 Gator Field, 25-game win streak, and Playmaker catches one down the sidelines, and we end up losing, dropping them from a 25, and we end up starting a 58-game home win streak at our crib. And going up there, I tell people there's nothing better than going up to Ben Hill Griffith Stadium or Doak Campbell and getting a win out of those people. We the state champions now. Mike, thank you so much for your time, brother. I know it, and I love you to death. We've been friends for over 40 years, man, and I love you to death. You know, you're in our prayers every day.
I appreciate your skills, man, and I love you, man. Anytime, Phil, just let me know, buddy.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Playmaker.
Right. Now, I got to sneak back into work. You know, I snuck out of meetings for you. I better go back.
Got you, Mike. Love you too, man. I appreciate it. That's Michael Irvin, Playmaker, man. We really appreciate him doing that. Please hit the like button. Hey, man, I haven't talked to him in a while, too, as you could tell. So me and him, man. Hey, you know what's crazy? We end up it always ends up going back to Miami. I don't know why, but it ends up always going back to Miami. We're going to take a look at those trades. Okay? You know what? I'm not going to take a timeout here. Keep hitting it now. We'll roll through Xander. We'll roll through Xander. Let's keep it rolling. You guys want to keep it rolling? Let's keep it rolling here. Okay? Hit the like button here. We had a topic here. Howie Roseman. Does he need to make a move? Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you, guys. Jalen is elite. God, I thought I'd get away from it. God. Get that out of there. Put that back up. Playmaker says Jalen's elite. Did he really say it? Did he say? Wait a minute. He didn't say. I didn't hear. I don't think I heard it. Did Playmaker say Hurts is elite? He said it like 5 times, dude. Oh, no, he couldn't have. Elite. Oh, elite. There it is. Yeah, see, Xander's trying to skew the pot. Elite leader. Elite leader. Damn, you had a Dallas Cowboy call a Philadelphia Eagle quarterback elite. Oh, wait till Mark gets a hold of that. Hey, guess what? Playmaker called Jalen Hurts an elite leader. Big D. No. Hall of Famer said it. Okay, Senor has rolled back, and now he's back to even par. He just sank an eagle. Okay, you're back to even par, dude. I still disagree. Hurts is an elite. I don't care what you say, CJ. CJ, I don't care what you say, dog. I don't care. Still, since we have a young defense. Seeing how we're playing right now compared to what we have with the vets like the Dolphins, is it Vic or the players? I think it's Vic. Okay? I think it's Vic. I think Vic's got a lot to do with this, man. I was showering, listening to Sill's sweet voice talk to a Hall of Famer. Wow. Now I'm uncomfortable, and now you're back to +3. Terrible take. Oh. Give the playmaker my best. Absolutely, guys. Hurts became the first quarterback to throw a 40-yard pass TD in 3 consecutive games since Carson Wentz. Woo! That's quite a comparison. We definitely need an edge rusher to elevate some pressure from Jalen Carter. He said an elite player and leader, unlike Rodgers. Thank you. Not elite talent, though. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to throw these names at you here. By the way, Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Elite leader, not elite player. Elite leader. Let's get it differentiated here. He said elite leader. Oh, man. Sills don't listen for shit. Wait a minute. Look at Flexin here. Once again, Flexin, I live in the Big Sills world, not in the Flexin world, which means Big Sills hears Big Sills things. The day you understand that, the day you'll understand Big Sills. Okay? I mean, that's how I hear it. So that's how it must be. How you doing? Okay? There you go, Bob. Elite leader. Look at the spin on the ball. I know. It's like a wob. I think he's throwing like a Nerf ball. Sills hears stupidity. Every day out of you, COF. Every day out of you. Every day out of you. Your shit takes. Absolutely. Here are the deals that Big Sills is going to put in front of you. I want you to rank this 1 to 5. 5 being I want him, 1 being I don't. Trey Hendrickson. I got 10 names here. 5. 5. 5. 3. 4. 4. Bob says 3. I think you would have to give Duke Tobin, the general manager of the Bengals, for Trey Hendrickson. I think you'd have to give him a third. I think you'd have to give him a 3rd rounder. Are you willing to do that? I think Trey Hendrickson's a great player. I think he's one of the most underrated guys. Okay? Would you give a 3rd for Trey Hendrickson? Yes? Yep. For a 3rd, I would. 2026 second? No way. That's the Reddick pick. Smart, though. Hey, Philly Jacks, smart. Smart. Josh Allen, you're talking obviously he's a Jags Josh Allen. That's $25 million. You're going to have to give up some significant draft pieces for that guy down there. Okay? Let's see here. Trade Davis. You're not going to trade Davis for Trey Hendrickson. Why in the world would they take a lesser player coming up on a contract whether you have to figure out you're going to give him a 5th-year option or not. Forget that. I'm not doing that. I have no interest in that. Jordan Davis doesn't have the value we had when he got drafted. You're not going to get a 1 for that guy. You're not going to get a 2 for him. You're not going to get a 3 for him. The most you'll get for Jordan Davis if you traded him would be a 4. That's not value right now. He's lost value. And like John McMullen says, he's misunderstood. You don't misunderstand 20 reps. This guy takes 20 snaps a game out of 65 snaps. Yeah, that. I'm not paying a guy $12, $13, $14 million to play 20 snaps a game and only have first and second down. That's not going to work for me. I have no interest in that. Okay? I mean, look at what my boy Prince is trying to do. He's trying to dump his trash in the Cincinnati Bengals facility. The Bengals know he's trash. They don't want. Why would they want the Eagle trash? They don't want the Eagle trash. Mike, right here. Appreciate it. Guys, please hit the like button. Exactly, Sills. Don't buy 20 snaps for a first rounder. It's a joke. He's right. Sills, would Milton be asking for Trey Hendricks? Who? Milton Williams for Trey Hendrickson. He's cheaper. He's on a last year of his contract. Who would you rather? That's a great idea, Abe. Trade Milton and get Trey in return. The Bengals get a cheaper player. They can negotiate a contract not at the level that Hendrickson's going to create. Hendrickson's going to make $20 million, and then you can leave that up to what the Eagles are going to do with him because he's also a guy who's looking for a new contract. Hey, dude, I would hey, Trey Hendrickson is superior to Milton Williams. It's a great take, Abe. That's a great take because he's talking money, contracts. Both are up. Both want new deals. Milton would get more and at a cheaper rate in Cincinnati because you know how they are in Cincinnati. And the Eagles, get this, Trey Hendrickson takes over and replaces Brandon Graham. And you would have Trey Hendrickson, Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter. That's a formidable front four. That's good. I'm not keeping Milton. You'd be lucky to keep Milton. If I were Milton Williams and they go to the NFC title game, I'm not staying in Philly. I'm going to go on the open market and I'm going to get the most maximum dollar I can. I'm not going to be a backup. And because Howie wants to keep Jordan Davis, the only way I'm staying in Philly is if they move off of Jordan Davis. If they move off Jordan Davis, I'll stay in Philly. But I'm not going to stay in Philly to be a backup. Why would I stay when I can go out and make more money in the open market? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I like the idea, though. Send Milton to Cincinnati and a 5th rounder for Hendrickson. Hendrickson's got 7 sacks. He's going to need a contract. You work a contract with him. And Milton's going to want a contract. You work one with him, but at a cheaper rate in Cincinnati. That's a great idea. That's a really great idea. Get this. Yale, this is where I push back on you. A unique player doesn't play 20 reps with no production. Is one of the Bosa brothers tradable? I think the guy in Los Angeles, I think Joey Bosa is too injury prone. He has been since he came there. I mean, Nick's been banged up a little bit too, but I think Joey Bosa is just too banged up for me to make any significant kind of deal. Now, if they want to give him away, I'm here for it. Get this. Yale says he's a big body, takes up 2 blockers. No, he doesn't. The guy who's taking the double teams on is Jalen Carter most of the time. That's not a true narrative. The guy who's taking the doubles up right now is Carter. Carter's taking the double teams. Okay? I love this player coming out of college. I really did. I love Trayvon Walker. Had the chemistry with the Georgia players on the team. Georgia players are starting to come around. I did watch the tape, yo. The guy getting the most of the double teams is Jalen Carter. Dude, I'm not paying $14 million for a guy that plays 20 plays a game when you play 65 plays a game. I'm not doing that. Who in their right mind would pay $15 million for a guy who plays 20 plays? Nobody. He's not a three-down guy. You pay three-down guys $15 million north of that. You don't pay a guy who plays on first and second down. And I'm not arguing with you too, yo. I know you like the player. I don't. Okay? Okay? I don't. Walker has 20 sacks in 3 seasons. What about 7? What are we talking about? 7 a year? That's pretty good. Today's NFL. No way Milton stays. Milton Williams is not a better ball player than Trey Hendrickson, man. What are you talking about, Steven? He's not even in the same room with him. He's not even in the same room. Okay, here's another one. Now, this here is more of a C move, my opinion. Zadarius Smith. I think you need depth at edge. I do. I don't think Jalix Hunt is going to give you anything as you get closer to December and January. I really don't. Bryce Huff has been a disaster. Trey Hendrickson is 27 years old. He's too old? Who are you talking about? Trey Hendrickson is not too old. Good night. Just make shit up, man, I guess, right? Anthony, I agree. Seals Davis's big ass should be doing more. And hey, how about this, Anthony? If you had drafted him 25th and he's playing 25 plays a game, and that's what you drafted him as a Vince Wilfork, and you've got quality edge rushers. Okay, he's 2 years older. He's 29. Wow, he's so old. Good grief. 27, 29. Barkley's 28 or 27, whatever he is. Is he too old too? He's a running back. Look what he's doing. Playing next to better players. Seals, the comp needed for any of the elite edge would be huge. That's right, Bob. I used the draft capital needed for Allen, Crosby, and Garrett. Use it for Trayvon and Devin Lloyd from Jacksonville. I like that. Guys, please, all super chats go to the top. I didn't call him old. I was just letting you know. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Zany. Thank you, brother. Sills, Jalen's record as a starter all time, including college, is 73-23. Guy's a winner. So was Tim Tebow. Needs a depth piece at edge or possible DT. More important, bring a player that's capable of being a starter next year. It's kind of hard to do that. Okay? Kind of hard to do that. Okay, getting younger players and hope that he's a piece next year. My take, I think Trey Hendrickson's going to Detroit. Sills, would Harbaugh be willing to trade for Hurts? He fits the style of play of running and swap for Herbert. I understand it's crazy. Yeah, John, it's crazy. They're not going to do that because the Chargers are not going to trade Justin Herbert. And Harbaugh's not getting off of Lamar. That's not going to happen. Okay, I like the idea. You're talking elite players, but I think everybody's pretty happy with what they are. I think Jim Harbaugh likes, or John Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh, I think both like their quarterbacks. Okay? You don't quit on players in week 8. You just don't do it. Trust in your what players? Jordan Davis has been on your team for 3 years. It's not week 8. Jalen Hurts is here's M. Reyes. Hurts is a franchise quarterback for the next 20 minutes. Got it. I hope Rodgers gets more playing time outside. Need to see him. Hey, very athletic play that he had this past week. Absolutely. M. Reyes, Jalen Hurts. You bet, baby. He's your franchise for the next 20 minutes. I'll give you a Howie. Andreas Smith. I think that's more the movie he's going to make if he does make one. Zadarius Smith. How about this one? Do you think they need depth at O-line? I think the Lions are going to get Trey Hendrickson. And then to get to what they're going to have. They're going to have Trey Hendrickson on one end, and they're going to have Aiden Hutchinson on the other end. And believe me when I say this to you, don't let them land Max Crosby, because the Lions will wrap up the NFC for the next 3 years. So you're going to have Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby, and you're going to have that offense, and you're going to keep compiling. I would give you a 1 for Max Crosby. No problem. And you put him on the other side of Trey Hendrickson. Shit, if you put Max Crosby on the other side of Josh Sweat, that looks good. Can you imagine? You have Max Crosby, Josh Sweat as your edges. And your two interior tackles are Davis and Carter. And your rotation pass rushers are Nolan Smith and Huff. Well, Huff ever got then you can dump Huff, get his ass. Send him out with the milk. Get his ass out of there. Yeah, Brad Holmes, the general manager in Detroit, flexing is absolutely spectacular. And he's turned that franchise around. He's turned it around. Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour here. Let me get through this one here. I don't think they need any O-line help. I think once they get back Becton and Mulata, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they just sign a guy? Didn't they make a roster move for an offensive lineman? I think they just made a roster move for an offensive lineman, the Eagles. So I don't think they're going to be in the market looking for another one. Hey, how about this one? Mike Williams, wide receiver. Boy, he has been an absolute nothing burger since Clemson. He came in practice squad. Thank you, KCA. Hey, Mike Williams coming out of Clemson was hurt. I think he had like a microfracture. And this guy's just been, dude, he's a tick up from Jalen Reagor. Look at flexing. Yeah, man. Hey, yeah, when he got to San Diego and he had like a microfracture and he couldn't play, I'm like, this guy will always be hurt. He's never been what people thought he was going to be. I think that was Deshaun Watson's wide receiver at Clemson when they won the national title, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be crazy. And again, maybe it's a little bit of this. Would you be interested in having a veteran like Calais Campbell on your team? Dolphins are open to trading him. Would you be open to having him on your team? Too old? Experience? You imagine teaching the younger guys? Calais still got some juice. He'd be cheap. You're not going to pay him a lot of money. That's kind of like a Howie move. You're not going to expect him to come in and start. You're just going to expect him to come in and spell your younger players. Look, I'm not looking for a frontline guy here with Calais Campbell with that name. I'm looking for you to help. And plus, can I tell you something else? Why did I throw Calais Campbell's name out? Besides me. What's the obvious one? What's the obvious one? Surely you guys know the young dudes play. I'm for it. Tell me what the obvious one is. Why Calais Campbell? Philadelphia says he's old. I know he is. Ties to Vic. Zane, you're getting closer. Ties to who? Who does Calais Campbell have a very close relationship with? Come on, guy. There you go, Gabe. Clint Hurt. They're best friends. Okay. And again, he's cheap. Doesn't cost you anything. It's better than that stiff you have now, Bryce Huff. I mean, hey, I'd rather have a milkshake than Bryce Huff right now. Before I get Big Z in here. Oh, my God. This is stupid. T. Higgins? Nah. How about Travis Etienne? How about Cooper Kupp? And, of course, Max Crosby. All right, let me get this thing going here. This is going to be stupid here. All right. Without further ado, the king of the Philadelphia Eagle fan club. You can hear him every morning on Birds 365, and you can also hear him on the halftime and post-game legendary JAKIB show. Our dear friend, Big Z, Xander Krauss.
What's up, Big Sills?
Oh, God, man. Hey, I'm sorry if we got carried away with the Kane stuff, man.
Oh, no, that was a tremendous interview. Big Sills, before I go into a little bit of I don't want to call it a roast on you, but, we'll revisit what Michael Irvin had to say.
Oh, God.
I just want to give you credit because I don't think people realize you won't find another show on YouTube that has a guy like Michael Irvin on a Wednesday afternoon for your viewing pleasure. So for all the haters of Big Sills out there, you got to give him his credit where it's due. Big Sills is the most connected man I've ever met in my life. There's not a number he doesn't have. There's not an email he doesn't have, and a person he can't get in touch with.
Not true. I got help last week for the first
from
time.
Big Z, actually.
Hey,
did.
Big Z actually opened up his Rolodex, and for the first time in about 10 years, someone added to the Big Sills, and now I have a great relationship with Eric Allen. Last week, you had Eric Allen. This week, you get Michael Irvin. That's what we do here on this program for you.
Yeah, pretty impressive, man. It was a great interview. And I was super happy because, last time you had Irvin on, he was traveling.
Yeah.
Remember, and you couldn't really see him too well. So I thought his setup was great. His connection was great. It was just great. I was enjoying it from my side. It was really dope.
Yeah, no. He was in his Fox studio, and he was in his dressing room. That's his dressing room at Fox right there. So you can see his clothes in the background here. That's his dressing room. So show the picture. Here's Mike. Here's
this is no picture here, Sills. This is no picture here, everybody. Let's maybe revisit here this conversation.
Oh, God, it's not a quote. Because we're based in Philly. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in the NFL? Do you think he's an elite player?
Oh, listen, I think he is absolutely an elite player. And even being more than an elite player, he's an elite leader. Aaron Rodgers is an elite player. He's an elite player. But he's an elite player goes to the team. He can't make that team elite because you got to be a quarterback that everybody knows that you are for them and you cannot just be for him. You see what I mean? So that's what Jalen Hurts has. Now, we talk about up and down play. His up and down play is up and down according to when Big Boy is up or down.
Yeah,
that's AJ.
AJ.
That's AJ Brown right there. When he's up, he's up. He's
down
because he's the cover-up receiver. He's that area code receiver.
Without AJ, he's a bum.
Put the ball up and make great plays. That's what he needs. And he
needs
definitely an elite quarter. Let's just listen to the beginning one more time, everybody.
God.
Just the beginning one more time.
Hey, by the way, you got to admit Big Sills here does this, though. Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Do you think he's an elite player?
Listen, I think he is absolutely an elite player.
Absolutely.
And even being more than an elite player, he's an elite leader.
So I no longer have to rely on my viewing eyes. I can, just turn on the playmaker and I can hear him tell me that the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles is an elite player and an elite leader.
How could I be stabbed in the back by my boy for 40 years, man? Stabbed in the heart and in the back. Yesterday, I got stabbed by Randy Cross, being top 10. Now I got stabbed by Playmaker, one of my closest friends. I get stabbed in the back.
Unbelievable.
Hey, one thing is sure here. This is what you get here on this program, unlike WHIPASS, that station over there. You know what you get? People that come on and contradict Big Sills. And I'm not afraid to have them on. I disagree with that. Jalen Hurts, I'll prove it to you right here. Without A.J. Brown, he's a stiff. With A.J. Brown, he puts up great numbers.
He's not a
that
stiff.
Guy, he's underwater when he doesn't have him on the field.
He's not a stiff.
He's 10-12 without him. He's 10-12 here. The numbers dictate it too.
Yeah, but come on, man. It's a team sport. Like, I get it. I'm not going to. Jalen is better with A.J. Brown. No shit. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to use it to take away from what he is.
He doesn't.
I mean, I don't do that for any other quarterback in the league.
You don't. Hey, well, who are you going to do that with in Buffalo? Who are you going to take away? Doesn't matter.
Well, it did matter. Clearly, they didn't think they were good enough right now, and that's why they just went and traded for a wide receiver.
They had lost one ball game.
Okay, and talking to the GM, who said,
"Are you really trying to tell me Amari Cooper's a great ball player?"
No, but they still need players around him.
Okay, they got him a really good. DeAndre Hopkins is not DeAndre Hopkins any longer. He's a dude that they gave a 5th rounder up for him.
I know, but the point is, it's a team football game. It's a team game, and you got to have great people around him. I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to criticize Jalen Hurts.
It's a stiff without AJ.
Howie Roseman built a great offense.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Almighty! Holy cow.
All right, yeah. So I've been talking big game on Joe in the last couple of weeks, and I got something to back it up right here. All right, if you want to hear,
I want to wait. So you're going to dispute that?
I see that. You want to? I'll put that on the. Are
you really going to dispute that without him? Everything is like the interceptions stink. His passer rating stinks. His record stinks. His playoff record stinks. Come on, dog.
Breaking news. A quarterback's not good when he's throwing to Paris Campbell and Jahan Dotson.
How are you using a 22-game sample size and saying that don't mean shit?
I'm not saying it doesn't mean shit. I'm just not going to use it to sit here and say that Jalen Hurts is incompetent.
I didn't say he's incompetent. I said he's a stiff.
Oh, yeah. Big difference. All right, so look, first 4 weeks of the year, we were sitting here and we were critical of Jalen, and some people agreed, some people didn't. First 4 weeks of the year, Jalen struggled this year, and there's no doubt about that. They were 2-2. He was averaging 7 passing yards per attempt, 4 passing touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 6 total touchdowns, 7 total turnovers with an 85.7 passer rating. We can all agree that those are very pedestrian numbers for a guy that's supposed to be the elite quarterback. In the last 3 weeks, okay, let's just give the guy credit because that's what I'm trying to do is be fair with what I see. 3-0, 10.4 passing yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 9 total touchdowns to 0 giveaways, and a 127.4 passer rating. Wow. You give credit where it's due.
Oh, no, he's blowing up.
And speaking of credit, let's give the greatness of Terrell Ray credit for dropping a 50-burger. Here.
You're right. He gets credit for blowing the Giants up.
The Bengals were good. Wait a second. The Bengals score prediction from Big Sills was 31-20.
Yeah.
Okay, we blew them off the page.
What they did? Do you know what they've done to Jalen? You're not going to throw the ball as much now, son. You're going to start running like you did.
Bullshit. They didn't have to throw the ball. He blew him out, so he blew him away from the building.
What, are you trying to dispute the fact the last 3 weeks that they've downsized the passing game?
I didn't say that, but to say that he didn't win the game.
Wait, you throw a shot at me by saying that's bullshit.
It isn't bullshit.
Through the air. They've had 34 attempts in 2 weeks. That's downsizing, my friend.
Because they've been blowing teams out. They don't even
Because
have
they
to throw.
realize you're going to run the ball, son. Don't throw it because you'll have too many picks.
Let's read Jarrell, because Jarrell, big thanks, man. It means a lot when you support the
does.
channel. I
It's
know
really
it's your
cool.
hard-earned money. It goes a
Now,
long
hey,
way.
everyone else that has thrown super chats out, they mean as much too. Thank you, Jarrell.
Yeah, we'll get
read
to all
you
of them,
guys.
but I want to get to Jarrell because he dropped a 50 burger, and that's no joke right there. He says, CJ Stroud, no Diggs and Nico. Burrow, no T. Higgins. T-Law, no Kirk and Brian Thomas Jr. Purdy, no Ayuk. Mayfield, no Evans and Godwin. Let's see if they get the same treatment Jalen Hurts got. Point is, even the best need help. Jarrell, I think you're right. I think you're right on the money, my man.
I
think
got
you're right on the money.
one game, and you guys are just trying to tell me this guy is some elite ball player.
No, I'm not. I'm
boy,
pointing to a trend.
Okay. I'll go when you use the word
Three-game I just gave you the 3-game numbers.
All right. Yeah, we don't need to be sitting here having angry Xander again like we did yesterday.
Oh, don't let angry Xander come out.
Hey, when you say the word trend, I'm listening. But when you tell me about the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm not listening because it's an 8. This is the same shit we went over last year. And that same shit was 10-1. Okay? You have to take a look at the entire body of work. Yes, I'm a trend guy. There's no doubt I am. The last 3 weeks are trending this way. They're running the ball 35 plus times a game. The quarterback isn't throwing the ball, but more effectively. Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, less is more. That's not a same thing in Baltimore. Less is more up there.
All right, the thing I would push back on you with is why is that a knock on Jalen Hurts?
It's not a knock.
When I think about that, I'm like, okay, good football. They decided to finally play good football. Good complementary
They're finally finding out who they are.
Right. I agree. So I'm not going to discount Jalen Hurts from that.
I'm not discounting it. They're actually looking at what's going on in Baltimore and going, well, how come they don't throw the ball? They don't even have a third wideout in that building, and this guy's throwing for 350 yards a game. Why is that? Because that running game makes that offense. Do you think there's any coincidence that the number 1 and number 2 teams in the NFL right now, both are 5-2? One team is averaging 220 yards a game rushing, and the other one's averaging 166, and it's the Ravens and the Eagles. There's no coincidence that the two guys and the two teams in the NFL right now that have that same style of play are both 5-2.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I have a good stat for you that you'll actually like, which is a crazy thing, and it's a great topic for anybody that's a fan of the NFL. Sills, listen to this breakdown right here. Highest percentage of run teams through 8 weeks right now. Number 1 is the Eagles, 55%, they're 5-2. Number 2 is the Steelers, 54%, they're 6-2. Number 3 is the Ravens at 52%, they're 5-3. Number 4 is the Lions, also at 52%, they're 6-1. Number 5 is the Commanders at 6-2. 6 others are flirting at 50%. Buffalo, Kansas City, Chargers, Green Bay, Minnesota, and San Francisco.
All playoff teams.
All playoff teams. I mean, are we here witnessing a little bit of a tide shift in the NFL where defenses have now overcompensated to take away the pass and they've become vulnerable in the running game, and teams are looking at it and saying, I'm going to blow your doors off, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason that I don't want to
Where's all the equity go?
with it.
Where's all the equity go on the defense in today's NFL? Edge and corner.
Right.
Okay. Doesn't go in the interior for the defensive lineman, Xander. They don't spend that kind of money.
Right.
The Eagles weren't going to put $20 million behind Javon Hargrave, were they? And by the way, take a look at what the San Francisco defense is struggling from right now. They can't stop the run because they don't have Hargrave and they don't have that guy Armstead in there any longer. And they're getting crushed up the middle, and they're killing Fred Warner. There is no doubt. You said something yesterday that's playing into all this. The trend in the NFL right now, scoring's down. You know why scoring's down? You're running the ball more, which means you're taking more time off the clock, and you're not going to keep people out. I really believe this, Xander, at the break, the bye week. I think that Eagle team went, it's just too much not to have Barkley A or B or B and A with AJ as part of the game plan here. You can't come out of a game where Saquon's C or D, where he had 6 carries.
No, I agree.
Touches. You can't have that. Those two guys And look, that's kind of why maybe you had an offer the other day or a couple games ago with Devontae where he had the -2 yards, was because those two guys were dominating the football game. This is where, again, Hurts has still got to be able to spread the ball around. And you know why he's going to start spreading it around like 22? That zone is going to be more open because Hurts, he is such the key to this. But it's his running. That's the key to the passing game. If he runs like that, those backers have to come up, play closer. That zone's open, and you're going to see more guys open in the middle of the field. And I'm going to make a proclamation to you here, Xander. The more that guy Calcaterra gets involved in the passing game, the more he gets involved in the playing of how they're going to go about and approach their business, the more you're looking at the last days of Dallas Goedert.
I think you're right about that. I mean, Dallas Goedert, there's just too many injuries there. But no, you bring up a bunch of great points there. And here's what I'll say, though, about Jalen, because I know you always bring it back to Jalen, which is fine. I mean, this is Eagles and
Quarterback has to be the guy.
Agreed. But don't you agree with this? Okay. And I know you're very hard on the quarterback, and I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue with it like others do. I'm cool with you being hard on him because that's what makes a championship player, is being hard on him and figuring out how to be great. But when the Eagles have this style of offense, Jalen becomes elite in the passing game too. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that means he can be a pocket passer and throw 50 times. That's not what I'm saying. But when they have this approach, I mean, just look at the stats versus the Bengals game. I know it was a very balanced attack. I get it. Jalen Hurts was 16 of 20, which is 80% completions. He had 236 in the air and a deep ball touchdown. And he had several big throws to A.J. Brown for 20-plus yards. So my point is, when you have this balanced attack, it takes so much pressure off Jalen. He now becomes an elite passer. I'm not saying he's a pocket passer. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, none of those guys. But that's not what we have. When we have this balanced approach, the eliteness of Jalen Hurts comes out, and it's not just in the running game. 16 to 20, 230. I mean, that's about as efficient as you're going to get as a quarterback. You know? You agree with that, or am I speaking?
No. You will never have an elite passer with him. But what you will do, like you had in 22, you get back to having an elite player week to week because it all goes together and meshes together. The running and the passing, they weren't meshing those together the last 12, 13 games. What did Wink Martindale tell the kid? Remember what Jalen said at his press conference? Hey, guess what? My 2024 season started in 2023, because when he heard that from Wink and he knew that he wasn't running the ball and they didn't fear that anymore, he said it at his press conference. My 2024 season began last year with the mistakes that we made by not running me. And now he's starting to see that coming out, and he's making comments even like this. I want to get more to imposing our will on people. I want to get more to like 22. I'm going to say something to you here that this is going to sound crazy. You know that 3701 that he had in 22? He was an elite passer. He was an elite runner, and he was an elite player that year. All of that, he becomes back to being the elite player. But the last year and 3 games into the season, he was not elite at all.
Yeah, but
he's
what you
starting
just said
to get back to doing what makes him the elite guy he is. Remember, Xander, that's one thing I've had to bitch here with. Why are they buying something and then trying to change the product that they bought? Why are they doing that? They went a year and a half trying to change his player. They came out of the bye week and they're going back to what they did that made him effective and made him the player that got him that $255 million. By the way, all super chats will be read. Promise. But
there's no doubt what you just said does go hand in hand with what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to make Jalen Hurts drop back and throw 45 times a game, that's not his game. But with the balanced approach and with all the other assets, I mean, he does kind of become elite passer. And you just said it. His 3,700 yards in 22, it was elite. I mean, he had a great year that year throwing the ball. He had barely any interceptions. I forgot what the numbers was.
If you look at his flow chart, he was across the middle of the field. Right. Why that year? You know why? They feared those 12 or 13 touchdowns that he had that year when he was throwing the ball and he was running. Hey, dude, when you got a guy back there with 800 yards and 15 touchdowns, you're not going to play off the ball on that. You're going to be on the ball in those passing lanes. And by the way, I said it again. You had more single coverage in 22 for those passes to be open. Why? Because Miles Sanders and Jalen had 2,200 yards in total rushing yards and 25 touchdowns. You can't get away from that. And now you're seeing it here with Barkley. Dude, in that game against the Bengals, how many times did the announcer and everyone go, why are they single covering A.J. Brown? They have to, because Hurts and Barkley,
I know,
they strike the fear in you, dude.
I know.
You can't play
right.
off the ball.
You're right. And they've brought that back out of Jalen this year a lot more. And by the way, he looks better doing it. Like last year, I don't know, was it that they didn't want to do it anymore, or was that Jalen remember, he was nursing a knee and a shoulder last year. And I don't know if he was fully healthy. He 100% looks healthy this year. And when he runs, he's running fast, he's running hard, and he's getting upfield quick. And I think you bring up a great point. You know, it's very easy to say, well, why would they not double A.J. Brown? Well, they can't, because now you're going to leave so much open field. Jalen Hurts going to gash you for 20 yards on the ground. Or
Barkley.
And that's where I think goes back to the offseason conversations, where I'm not saying we're a Super Bowl team. There's nothing. I mean, everything we talk about, guys, can change. And you all know that in the chat. But when we talked in the offseason and I'm looking at this team, and I was saying to you, and you were telling me I was delusional, which is fine. I think this could be our year, because we are that we have that many dimensions on our offense. The problem is, if they use it correctly, and they've started to show that they're getting there, doesn't mean they're going to do it every week, but if they do what they did versus the Bengals, or take that approach, I think we can be a nasty team, man, a tough team to beat.
It's not really the offense. What's making it look a lot better is the play of the defense. That's where it's starting to make a balanced roster.
Right.
You did not look that way early on, and all of a sudden it's starting to trend up. Now, again, I'm going to be fair to this. Am I looking at 2022 and seeing a lot of the same shit here with some of these horrible quarterbacks that you're playing against and some of these horrible offenses that you're playing against? And is it fool's gold? See, the difference with this group and that 22 group, dude, you had Sue, you had Linval Joseph, you had Fletcher Cox. You had veterans that wouldn't allow, whether or not that was a good team or not. You have a lot of young players here. Now, do I think the younger players buy more into confidence versus older players? I do, because a younger player never seeing it before, like a Sue, it's different. Sue's seen it all, man. Some of these players have not been through the peaks and valleys, and have not, like look at Quinyon Mitchell. Everyone's all over Quinyon Mitchell. He hasn't seen valleys yet. He will see valleys, like Sauce Gardner seeing him. Like Sauce Gardner seeing him in New York right now. You go up and down like this, and this is a younger team than that 22 team. So I temper it right now by going, how are they going to look in that stretch run when you've got all these good teams coming up on the flip side of Jacksonville? And are you going to play the same way against Jacksonville that you played against Cincinnati? Put your foot on their throat, not get off it, run at them, be physical with pressure on defense. Are you going to do all those things? And I don't care. It's Jacksonville. I'm with you on that. If you look, if you do the things you did against Jacksonville or Cincinnati to Jacksonville, you should have a same almost exact score. Okay. Will you play up and down? Here's the one thing that I've seen this year in 8 games. The Eagles have been up and down. The last 3 weeks, they've been playing at a better level of playing up to their ability versus down to the opponent's ability. That's been some of the big things that we're seeing here, and that's a great trend. Do they continue it against a not so good and banged up and very right now newsworthy coach who could be fired on Monday if he loses this game? How are they going to handle all this? I think Jacksonville's an interesting ball game for them on Sunday. They're by far the better team.
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, I think you bring up a great point. They got to stick to this. You know, they have to stick to this. They have to embrace this, because it's the best part of their team. They're a physical football team. They have a tremendous offensive line, and there's no question. I mean, like I said to you, Jalen becomes a great passer when you don't make him beat every team solely through the air. I mean, I gave you the passer rating. I mean, I know he's running the ball great, but he went from an 85 passer rating to a 127.4 in a 3-game span. I mean, he's a good passer when you don't have it all on his plate. And I think this
less
team
is
really
more. Less is more. By the way, when I say that, automatically people go like this. Well, Sills is saying they're taking the plays away. They're not. No, they're using him more efficiently. He's running and passing like he did before,
Right.
and they're using his yards efficiently. Thanks, Mike, for that. Please, we got 250 likes right now.
Amazing,
Guys,
man. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, please, if you can, please hit the likes. We'd like to get to 300 by the top of the hour here. Hey, Xander, you're starting to look like the guy you paid for.
Yeah, he is. No doubt about it. And it's exciting. I mean, look, you're a Philly fan. You're excited by it. I'm certainly excited by it, but I'm weary that they won't stick to it because, and I don't know if that'll be a coaching thing or a front office thing where they're
It
just
could be an
so
injury
attached.
thing.
Well, it could be an injury thing, but I mean, shit,
That's
man.
my next topic, by the way.
But think about it, Sills. They're down 2 offensive linemen last week, and they
That's
still were
incredible.
able to impose their will.
Incredible.
I mean, it's, credit to Jeff Stoutland, but that's
Howie.
the identity of the football team.
And
And,
Howie.
it really does come down to Jalen Hurts, where he is a big, powerful dude. And most teams don't have quarterbacks like that. Like I asked you yesterday, and I asked John this morning, when is somebody going to figure out the tush push? They're not going to figure it out. What are they going to do? You're not going to stop that offensive line with a quarterback that can squat like he can squat. So, look, we're in a good spot right now. If this team keeps building on this, they're really starting to show what we all envisioned they could be. And it's not to say crown them yet. It's a process. You got to get through the year. I understand that, but I'm definitely more encouraged right now than I have been at any other point in the year so far this year.
Okay, who are you more concerned about keeping this pace up, Hurts or Saquon?
I'm going to say
both are instrumental in this whole process here.
I'm going to say Saquon because I don't know. That's tough. I mean, here's the deal. I think Saquon would suffer if Jalen. How do I want to word this? In other words, I think we can be a great team.
Hey, by the way, Baltimore would suffer big time too if Henry.
No, yeah, I know. But my point would be is I think we're so damn good on the offensive line and with Jalen in the running game that if Saquon did take a step back, you could probably build, evolve the offense a little bit using Kenny Gainwell, Will Shipley, and some of these other guys and still have a great running attack. Similar to how Miles Sanders isn't half the player Barkley is, but he still ran for 1,300 yards. DeAndre Swift's not as good as Saquon Barkley. He still ran for, 11 or 1,200 yards last year. We just have that identity. So if Saquon took a step back, I would feel pretty good about the team, and that would mean I think Jalen Hurts would be able to keep it up. But I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a tough question to answer. What would you say?
I think Barkley, because I think Barkley changed their philosophy. I think Barkley has changed it. As they got to the bye, they went, hey, man, this is a formidable running attack. Dude, you're second in the league to Baltimore.
I know.
I mean, you're averaging 170 yards, 166.7 or something like that. Baltimore's beyond crazy at 220 a game. Imagine that. Dude, 220 yards a game you're averaging at Baltimore, man.
Unbelievable.
You're going to kill teams.
No,
okay?
And we mentioned it yesterday, Sills, but, I'll bring it up again. The NFC and the AFC are vastly different. Who's the best team in the NFC right now? Detroit, I think, pretty easily. Like they're head and shoulders right now. I think teams are getting closer, but I think they're the top team.
Yeah.
Jared Goff the last 5 weeks, ready? 15 attempts, 25 attempts, 25 attempts, 18 attempts, 23 attempts. That's the best team in the NFC.
But, and again, remember, though, here's the difference here between him and Hurts. He doesn't rely on his wheels. They're relying on the wheels behind him.
My point is more
he's capable of going for 4,600 yards a year.
I hear you. My point is more that in the NFC, this style is the way to win in a way versus in
I think
AFC,
the style is spreading around the league, actually.
I know, but in the AFC, if I'm Baltimore, I'd be concerned. And that's why they went and traded for a receiver because,
you got to throw in the playoffs.
Mahomes might not have it together right now, but you watch, man. Them playoff games will come. He'll be throwing. He'll be putting 40 on the board again.
Let me put this out there to you, okay? So if you had to play a playoff game right now, the way Mahomes is playing, and you're in the AFC, what's the one team you wouldn't want to face in the playoffs on a do or die game?
In the AFC?
Yeah,
I think that's pretty simple. Kansas City, obviously.
Oh, I thought he was having not you saying it. I thought he was having a shitty. I mean, you could say whatever you want about Mahomes. Is that the guy you want to see in a playoff game?
Yeah, you got to elevate the conversation, everybody. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is, I mean,
He's
come on.
capable of doing this, right? 3 picks
Yeah.
in the first half and then 4 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, and they got Andy Reid. I mean,
play.
look, that team that's why I never buy into any of the stat people who are telling me Mahomes is having a bad year. Until he gets knocked off and can't win for a couple years straight, I'm not buying into it.
Did you hear my philosophy on why I think his numbers are down? Is because I think Kelsey's getting older, and I think Kelsey's importance in that offense. He's got 38 catches on the season right now. I think it's got a little bit to do with the diminished role he has.
Is he getting older, or is he too caught up in the Taylor Swift hype train?
Maybe both. Okay?
I mean, look, it's a grueling game. You got to be committed to it mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. And I think he was before Taylor. I'm not trying to. I don't know. I'm not Travis Kelce, so I'm not trying to question his effort or anything. But naturally, you bring on the PR and the paparazzi wagon, it might shift your attention. And I think even Jalen Hurts struggled with that a little bit last year, where he became the big star and everybody wants him on TV and the commercials and everything. Now I think he's settled back into putting.
Anytime you see a dude change his hairstyle, a chick's got to him. I mean, any chick that can make a guy change his hairstyle, something's given up there, man. The guy gave a little bit of his soul away there for that.
A little goofy, yeah. A little goofy for sure.
A little goofy there, man. Hey, who's been your biggest surprise in 2024?
On the Eagles?
Yep.
Biggest surprise. It's got to be Nakobe Dean for me right now, man. It has to be. I was thinking this guy was going to be a trash can linebacker. I really did. And it was more about the size and me just being like, I just don't see it. And durability, right? That was obviously a big concern. But, Vic Fangio has really done a good job at evolving this defense to kind of get the players in the right positions. And when you get Nakobe Dean downhill, he don't look like he's too small anymore, right? I mean, you've seen him clean a couple people's clock, and you're just like, damn, that dude can hit that hard.
I say this? He looks like a big hitter.
He does when you get him downhill. But if you get him in space hills where his feet are flat-footed, people walking right around him.
I might be wrong.
And I think Vic has learned that quick and has kind of got him in better position. So I'll say Nakobe Dean number one, and I'll stick with Nakobe. I mean, the whole defense has been somewhat of a pleasant surprise. Brandon Graham, I mean, what is he, 36, 37? That dude is still making plays. So, but it's Nakobe Dean for me for sure. I'm not sure. Did anybody else put some good ones in the chat? I'd be curious to look. Juergens is a decent one.
Yeah, Juergens is a really good one. I tell you what. Plus, he's stepping in. Decent one. He's stepping in for a Hall of Fame guy too. Yeah,
Dean has had 2 good games. I would say. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's 2. I mean, look, the body of work has been better than I've expected.
No, I think
overall.
He's gotten better since Green Bay.
Definitely. So
yeah, I think he's gotten better. This is going to sound crazy when I say this. Yeah, and I hate this guy. I don't hate him. I don't know him very well, but man, I'll tell you something. Since the bye, I don't know, man. That team, you said something that looks like it could be happening. All the shit that guy's taking, I'm talking Nick, looks like that team has all of a sudden found focus. And you don't play like that in 3 weeks. I don't care who the opponent is. There's been some focus there. And if we're going to shit on Nick, you have to give Nick some kudos because he's the overall guy with this thing. It's his football team, dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is his team.
Look, and I'm not the biggest.
If we want him fired, if we all want him fired, you have to also, and this is what and it kills me sometimes because I've got to do this. Hey, man, I got to give this guy some kudos here for rallying back off of that bullshit stunt that he had with the fans and shit.
Which I never cared about, by the way, and I'm taking credit because I never called to fire him because he chirped back at some fans. But I had some issues with some of the coaching things. And, look, if we're all going to sit here, and I would encourage everybody in the chat to check in, I'm interested in your thoughts. But, a lot of people were like ready to fucking fire Nick.
Oh, by far.
And that's fine. But now that this team is finding their rhythm, if you're going to have that energy when they're not doing well, you got to hold that same thing and give him the credit for this team finding a rhythm. Now, maybe it ain't him. I don't know. But I'm giving him credit for it because, everybody wants to shit on him when they're 2-2 through the bye week and don't look that good. Well, now they're 3-0 since the bye week, and they blew the doors off the last 2 teams they faced, and they made Joe Burrow look pedestrian. So I'm giving Nick some credit because He's the head coach, and Vic has done a good job, yeah, but players buy into a head coach, and they're clearly still bought in, and they clearly still believe in Nick Sirianni. So he's
I
doing
think
something
that
behind closed doors because, remember, Sills, and you know this, these are grown men that are making millions of dollars to play a game. It's
this
not
is
just it's not Pee Wee foot, it's not Pop
this is
Warner where you
what
show up
I
and you got
would
to
have
trust
done
the coach.
if I was in that Eagle locker room and I went into that bye and I saw my coach distressed like that. I would, if I were like you heard Michael and I talking about how we were teammates. If I saw my coach like that, what I would do is I would absolutely do everything in my power to make sure everything stayed in house. We all rallied around one another. We won and lost as a team, and we all were galvanized with one another. Come hell or high water. That's how I would want us to go out on a football field. And that's how I'm starting to feel a little bit about the team since the bye. By the way, we're going to get to all your
We're getting
super
all
chats here. Am I right when I say that?
No, you're right. I mean, and you're also right that if you said, "Listen, we got to relax," just in terms of,
Yeah.
it's a couple good weeks, but the reason I'm so optimistic is because this is what I dreamed of them doing in a way. And when they weren't doing it, you're like, even if they win, fuck, are they going to go far? You question that. Now with this, you're like, boy, they can build on this and be great now. But and Bob, I see in the chat, you're right. I mean, look, we were 10-1 last year. It's not time to credit anybody. It's not time to crown anybody, but we have found an identity that I believe we can build on, and that I believe we can knock anybody out in the league with. So they got to stick to it.
Bob, I'm with you.
Keep at it for
but
sure.
I'm with Xander too. And but Bob, two can be right here. Okay?
Yep, I agree.
Two can be right here. So
I'll just put Bob on the screen so anybody that watching after knows what he said.
We're going to get to your super
Bob
chats.
Xander, let's not remove the news yet. We were 10-1, and that didn't work out. 3 games does not take the stink off of Nick yet. I agree.
Yeah,
but
I got it.
It's definitely going off on Bob, and he deserves
As a matter
credit.
of fact, all I said was the last 3 weeks. I haven't said the whole year. I just said he looks different coming out of the bye, and it was a point that you made. Maybe this is something that they galvanized coming out of the bye, and it looks like. Yeah. Then again, winning covers that up, Bob. I'm with you.
Let me ask you a question now in hindsight. And I'm not trying to take Nick off the hook completely, but do you think there maybe was a bit of a shred of Nick kind of understanding his team wasn't living up to expectation at that point in the year and saying, let me turn everybody on me and keep them out of the limelight. And then now that they're back, Nick's not getting any credit, but he should. He's not. He went through the ringer,
That's too superficial. I think it had more to do with
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's too superficial.
Let me finish. I think it had more to do with the identity of them going back and running the ball and being physical and going back to Eagle football that changed the dynamic in that building, which all of a sudden, like you said, it makes it easier to gravitate to what you just said. Like, whoa, okay. So we're going to change our philosophy a little bit. The organization is changing what we're going to do by running the ball like that. We should have been doing this from the very beginning. Shit, right. You had players on the sidelines always saying, let's run the ball. So again, I think it opens it easy. It's an easier door to walk through, Xander, with the superficial stuff, which is the outside noise about the coach. When you're talking about results and everything, winning and losing, that is the essential part of how you keep a locker room. No matter what the coach or how freaky the coach or no matter what it is, when you start losing, look at Dallas. Mark Holmes is going to get killed, and he knows it. He set it up to me already. When you start losing, you can't even rely on the 12 wins you had the last 3 years in a row. Because losing, you lose everything. Your coach, your mentality, your identity, all of that stuff goes out the front door of the locker room. So they started winning. Then what's the most important thing? The last 2 games, they started inflicting their will.
Yep.
When you inflict your will on people.
Can I show you something? I don't want to program. I don't want to. If you have another topic, that's fine. I want to show you something though. Are you good with that?
Yeah, sure.
So Brian Baldinger tweets out. Did you see this?
No.
So Brian Baldinger tweets out yesterday, and this goes into exactly what you were just saying. Brian Baldinger tweets out yesterday a clip of the Eagles and the use of play action, right? And he tweets, Eagles Jalen Hurts' use of play action passes has really helped with the rhythm and timing of his throws. The receivers love it, and the O-line are thankful for it. # Baldy's breakdown. Shout out to Brian Baldinger. Somebody responded to him on Twitter and said, any idea why it took him 8 weeks to do this? And Brian responded and said, a few guys were tired of the offense and spoke up. Now, you know Baldy, and you know how connected he is with certain players. He works out at the Lane Johnson Bro Barn. I think that's a pretty interesting
Barkley.
tidbit of information on. I think it's Jalen and Lane. That would be my
I think it's Barkley. Lane's been out.
Well, I don't know if Barkley's the type that would speak up. Like, I could see Lane and AJ, but Lane being like, "Hey, man,
a leader, dude." I
know he is, but I don't know if he's the type of leader that wants to ruffle the waters. That's a different type of a leader.
When you're putting up 135 yards in offense a week, and you're going into a coach, you got equity. You got equity in the building, man.
Either way, we don't know who said it.
By the way, how could Jalen have any kind of equity when he's been so up and down prior to the
well, he's the 50 million. I mean, come on, he's the quarterback. He's got more say than anybody in that room,
dude. So you think he said take the passing plays out of my hand?
I don't know who. I just thought it was interesting that Baldy put that out there because I don't think Baldy would agree with that without knowing something. And remember, Baldy's like really close with Lane Johnson, a lot more close than he would be with say Jalen Hurts or Saquon. Like he works out with Lane Johnson. Baldy.
Well, who would you say that to, Nick?
I don't know. I mean, I think he might have heard it from Lane. I don't know who exactly would have said it. I just thought it was interesting to hear.
No. You can take it to the bank that Brian Baldinger got it from a source.
Yeah, and then the content of it is actually interesting as well, where you're like, whoa, somebody did speak up, and
because, dude, they've changed their philosophy. They've changed it.
No, and have you been listening to Birds 365? Like, did you listen to it today at all or no?
I didn't.
I know some days you listen, some days you don't, but I mean,
most of the days I do.
Is anybody in here that has listened to Birds 365? Maybe today's show because
Jesus Christ, he gets on my ass. One day I don't listen to it.
No, I'm not getting on your ass at all. I just wanted to ask you because it's an interesting discussion I've been having. That if you heard it, I would have been interested to hear your thoughts. I'm not getting on your ass about it. I know it's like 6 a.m. for you that time, but John is just. I mean, he makes me feel like I'm a dumbass because I'm like, John, this thing looks different. It's not just that they're executing better. This thing looks different. And John basically, he's almost gaslighting me and making me believe I'm fucking crazy for saying it looks different. He's like, no, they're just executing better. And I'm like, John, I'm sorry, they're not.
They're running the ball. Jalen, dude, they're running 39, 40 times a game compared to what they're doing in the passing game. And then if John goes like this, they're executing better. Well, John, you're answering Xander's question. John, does it look different? Well, they're executing better. Yeah, because they're executing better in the run game.
Because they're doing something different. I mean,
in the run game.
I know we got the battle royale coming up.
They're executing better in the run game. Yes. See, he's answering your question right.
It's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, am I just going fucking crazy? What's going on here? But hey, I don't know. Sometimes I let Johnny Mac live in his world, and people don't, like I said, people don't tune in for me, so I don't try.
I don't think so. I think they tune in for you and him. I like the show. Let's get to these super chats because we do have Battle Royale.
We got the two legends coming up. Big shout out to Mark and Philly 500. Love both of those guys. Michael Robinson checks in. Michael, thank you, man. He says, you are spot on, Sills. I've noticed Saquon has added a new layer of leadership, and it is affecting the whole team dramatically.
Dude, I never saw this guy in New York. I never, on the field and off the, I am close to the Giant organization, and everyone knows. I've been close to them since I was 10.
Yeah.
I've known the Maras since I was 10 years old. And I'm telling you, I've seen thousands of Giant players go through that place. I have never seen Saquon Barkley talk the way he does and play the way he has. It's been remarkable, refreshing. He's the second pick in a draft. Absolutely. Dude, if he played he played his entire career in Philly, he'd be in Canton. He is a really good football player, man. I can't be more wrong about him, even though he's a low-life Penn State guy.
Yeah. Michael, big thanks to you, brother. Appreciate everybody's support of the channel. Everybody's been tremendous. Big Fish checks in. 100% right, Xander. I tried to bring up the under center stuff 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I don't know, Big Fish. The thing I don't like about the conversations with John is he almost says things to me, and then he's like, you're a fucking idiot if you don't see what I'm saying. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't see what you're saying. Maybe. And then you start to question, like, am I a fucking idiot? I don't fucking know.
Oh, I love those kind of conversations with people.
I mean, it is what it is, though. Always Sunny says, Sills, what the F? You're in Cali? Yeah, Sills is a Cali guy. No, doesn't that explain a lot?
No doubt.
Sydney family, Mark Tough for turning up. Respect. Always got respect for Mark, man. Mark's a legend. I absolutely love Mark.
Me too.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Jalen checks in. Nick has player committee, and they came to him to change offense. Defense players did same last year with the Desai. Nick listens and acts. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know, but
I think the organization sometimes listens and reacts.
Yeah, I don't know. The organization is
dude, they pivoted.
I would give Nick more credit for pivoting than the organization.
No, they pivoted. They pivoted at the bottom.
Remember, this is an organization that fired a Super Bowl winner because they thought it was
that pivot makes Howie look good. Why? Because he
still,
signed Barkley.
They're more infatuated with the way it looks than the result.
But he looks great signing Barkley.
Well, that's true.
Nobody's talking about the Dotson third rounder you surrendered for the dude. You're talking about the addition of Barkley in free agency.
Yeah, right. No doubt. I'll just go to Jalen again because he just followed up. Thanks, everybody, for the support, man. It means a lot to us. Nick has player committees like Doug. They asked him to change offense. Defense players did same last year with Desai. Oh, you sent that twice, brother. I was getting to it. Thank you, man. Brian says, Nick is lucky the team is winning and that Joel Embiid is a buffoon. We Philly fans turn our attention to that bozo. We want guys who freaking work. Brian, I'll join you on the Joel Embiid hate club, man. I'm not a Joel Embiid guy.
Hey, by the way, Brian, in the land of Wilt and Malone and those great players like that, don't ever in a billion years ever put that guy's name in the category of Chamberlain and Malone as centers for the Sixers. He's nowhere in that conversation.
Yeah, well, one of my worst sports takes well before I was on air, and it was just inside my own home where I was all excited that the Eagles or that the Sixers tanked, and they were like, "Oh, they're getting all these draft picks." And my dad looked at me and he said, "You're going to learn the hard way. This team will never win with this setup. They'll never win." My father told me, and I didn't want to believe him, but
look at that big Z. Hey, big Z. He had a strong take there, and the epiphanies come through.
Yeah, I was telling my dad, it's just the Sixers' time. No, it wasn't. Jarrell checks in. Jarrell, appreciate it, man. Your support today is always.
Yeah, you're great, Jarrell. Thank you very much, Jarrell.
Man. Jarrell's great on Twitter, too. He always messing with me and you on Twitter. He says, I can recall saying the players would back coach up after the Browns game. Villain Sirianni, baby. Jarrell, you 100% said that, and you said it right here on JAKIB on the post-game show. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Sydney checks in. Becton, Steen, Johnson, maybe Keegan next. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Keegan, man.
Keegan's going to be a starter.
I was wearing my Stout U shirt right now.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. They got depth in that O-line. Dude, there's O-lines in the NFL that have one guy on it that's good. The rest of them suck.
Yeah.
Look, it's insane.
It's incredible, dude.
Dude, I've never seen a group so developed in my life like the O-line in Philly. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah, it really is, man. Jarrell again. Look at that. Jarrell, thanks,
awesome, Jarrell. Thank you, man.
Yeah, and he dropped the 50 burger. So big shout out to you, Jarrell. By the way, Jarrell is deploying in December. So he's a fighter for our great nation. So big thanks to everybody should thank Jarrell.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Jarrell's going to be like he's going to be in some foxhole, and I could just see he's probably a sniper right now going like
Jarrell's going to be in a foxhole. He's going to pull out his phone and tweet, "Fuck you, Big Sills. Jalen Hurts is a legend."
Wait a minute. Jarrell's going to have the National Football Show going on in one ear, and he's going to have his scope going like this. I got that Rooski right there. Pow!
Yeah. Wait, let me pull up my phone, everybody. I got to shit on Big Sills.
Yeah, hang on, Sills. He's
talking shit about my quarterback. He says he doesn't need to be an elite passer for running the ball, but guess what? He's going to develop to an elite passer. His character shows that. Well, Jarrell, he kind of is when they run. Like I pointed it out to Sills. He might not want to hear that, but 16 and 20 is pretty elite. It's not a lot of attempts, but he is elite, Jarrell. Great point. He says, Waldo Vision says, would Milton and Goddard for Garrett get it done?
No,
dude. No,
dude. No.
Dude, not even close, dude. Maybe with 2 first-rounders. Maybe we'll get it.
Yeah,
Abe checks in. Abe, appreciate you, brother. Defense got better at scheme and covering, but one thing it relies on the player is the D-line in order to stopping the runs or rushing the passer. He's right. It all comes down to that D-line, man.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. It comes down to stopping the run, too, most importantly.
Sills, as a football savant and a guy that's covered the game for a long time, played the game at the high level, and I know I've been high on Jalen Hurts this week, but isn't the bigger thing to be high on with this team the numbers that the defense has put out in the last
Yes.
couple of weeks? I know you haven't played great teams. Joe Burrow is pretty damn good, but
Yeah, but
I
it's the
mean,
young guys. It's different. You know what? If you had a veteran group and you were putting numbers up against shitty teams,
right,
I'd be more suspect. You got young guys that have never played the game or have had limited snaps
right.
that are picking their game
I
up
mean,
in their
in a way,
confidence.
Sills,
Dude, I don't mind this right here. This is right now.
in a
Again,
way,
I don't
isn't it the Mahomes formula? Like last year, Mahomes wasn't. I mean, that was a defensive team,
the
right? And it
same.
helped them carry him to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's where I like where the Eagles are right now. So great point, A. Appreciate you, bro. Anthony Wilson says, "Stop, Sills. They look nothing like last year."
That's not true. They
They
8
did early.
games.
They haven't the last
That's
couple
right.
of weeks.
That's the
Yeah,
narrative right there.
agreed.
They did early. Now they're starting to get out of it, Anthony. Anthony. They did look like it because we're all saying they look the same.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's the 50 burger from Jarrell earlier. Jarrell, thank you, my man. It's massive for us.
Look at this one here, man.
What? We got another one? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, man. Another one.
Holy
Sydney,
cow,
man. Thank you
Sydney.
so much. Thanks, Sills, John, and Big Z. Sydney, you're a legend, bro. Sydney has become one of my favorite guys to talk to on the post
Thank
game show. Sills, you would like Sydney. He's an Aussie, and he's been watching football for almost 40 years. And he just
Well, wait a minute. That means he has like a snarky attitude, because I'll tell you one thing about the Australians, man. They're gonna talk shit to you, and you're gonna think they're talking
Hey, he
well
doesn't have an
about you
attitude.
and talk shit to you.
He's a pretty grounded dude. I
like
love talking to him in the post.
Way to go,
game show.
Sydney. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Sydney,
that.
thank you, man. Massive, bro. Appreciate everybody
absolutely.
today. Let me roll through. We got a couple more to get to. I don't know where you stopped. Always Sunny says, "Good thing AJ Brown is here for a while." Big Sills. He is here for a while. Barrett checks in. Barrett, thanks, man. Sills needs some JAKIB gear. New merch is fire. Thanks, man. Go check it out, everybody, at JAKIBsports.com.
Don't worry, I'm waiting too, Barrett. You know, I'm waiting too here. It's about me, not about.
Sills is making millions of dollars, so I'm trying to come up with a couple extra peanuts.
Hey, this week I am.
I'm trying to come up with a couple extra peanuts to.
Hey, by the way, Barrett, this week I am.
Mark says, Donovan McNabb watched from the sideline his rookie year. Doug Peterson was the starting QB. He got hurt, and McNabb started the last few games. Hurts a second round pick, had no support. I don't know what he means at the end there, but I think he's just drawing the comparisons there.
Yeah, no, Hurts. They have built a football team around Jalen.
Yeah,
they have never. No quarterback in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles has ever had the talent around him that Jalen Hurts has. That's a fact.
All right, I got a real quick question. I know we're running out of time. I got a quick question for everybody in the chat, because I got a little bit of flack after our show yesterday. And you guys would know this better than me. I'm born in 98. I'm a lot younger than a lot of people listening, I'm sure. Who is the greatest quarterback in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles? Put it in the chat. I want to see what everybody says.
It's McNabb.
I said it was McNabb yesterday, and a couple people commented that's insane. A couple people commented, I don't know. I thought full body of work, it was McNabb. Maybe I'm wrong. Sliger says McNabb. I'll get to those comments in a little bit. Let me just finish up these supers. Always Sunny says, just got home from work. What up, Big Sills? Always Sunny, man. Thanks for checking in. And then did you get this one? Yeah, you got that one.
Yes.
Yeah, you got that one. All right, so we got them all, and then some new ones just came in, and we'll get to them right now. Slay said it on his podcast last year. He was talking about his follow-up of the Players Committee.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting stuff, Jalen. Sean Mims checks in. Sean, thanks, man. Nolan is showing signs, and the two new rookie DBs looking good, Sills. What about the DB from Toledo? Quinyon, baby.
Hey, subtle shot. Very nicely done, Sean, at Sills. Hey, he is playing well. He really is.
Never draft a white corner and never draft a guy from Toledo.
8 you want me to start? 8 games. 8 games. 8-game career. Okay. We'll see. We'll see here. And we'll see if your boy Hurts continues his trend.
Here's Lord's Grace. He says, are we the Dallas Cowboys or the 90s minus the coach?
No, you don't have the experience on defense yet, but you may.
Not yet.
Minus the coach, right.
Honestly, that was a pretty good answer. Factor. I thought Sills was going to absolutely demolish that take, and he didn't. So I think we're in a good shape.
Yeah, no. I think you're a little bit ahead of schedule. That's for damn sure. Okay,
Sydney checks in, follows up, says, my kids walk around Dan Sileo, Coach Aaron.
Ooh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sydney. You're awesome.
Yeah,
God.
Sydney's dope, man.
Hey, Sydney, man, what part of Australia, man? East or west side? I'd like to know where you're from down there, man. That's pretty cool. My wife and I have always wanted to go there, New Zealand, believe it or not.
I am about as dumb as it gets when it comes to geography. Like I am. I know America very well, actually, and I know where I live very well. So I have a good geographical mind, but I don't give a shit about the geography of the world. I never did in school. I kind of regret. I wish I paid a little bit more attention, but I wasn't the greatest student. I might have been like a Big Sills type of student back in the day.
Absolutely. Okay, we got Battle Royale coming up here, and I got to take a time out because I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I was waiting for the follow-up.
There you go, Sydney, Bankston.
My Lotta area.
Down there where you're from. Okay, that's cool, dude.
Awesome, man. That's
absolutely.
Cool.
Xander, you killed it, man. We got Philly 500, and we have Mark Holmes coming up here.
Yeah, a couple of people ripping me. You're right, Jack. I wish I knew more. I'm great at it in America and where I live. Like, I'm one of those guys. I can drive anywhere in the city.
Jack, here's my geography. The refrigerator for my Coronas and my couch for football. That's my geography there too. And hey, by the way, and a lane to the Pissoir. That's all the geography I know or need.
Beers, the microphone, and the pisser. That's it.
Microphone and the pisser, and I need a refrigerator for the Coronas. That's it, dog.
Unbelievable. All right, everybody.
Hey, Xander, where's East Lafayette, Indiana? Do they sell Coronas there?
Big thanks again to everybody, man. Jarrell and Sydney with two massive supers, and everybody else that checks in and supports, man. Means a lot. Thanks, everybody. Big Sills, great show, man. Looking forward to the Battle Royale.
You got it, man. Philly 500 and Mark Holmes right around the corner. Xander, thank you very much, brother.
Just remember what the playmaker said. Just remember what Michael Irvin said, everybody, right here on the National Football Show. Thanks, everybody.
I hate that, man. He did too, man. I'm going to have a conversation with Playmaker calling Hurts elite. Hit the like button. Battle Royale coming up next. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
but as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing, The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give JAKIB a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore, have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Oh, boy. I don't know how Mark Holmes is going to take this one after what Playmaker just said on the show in the first hour. I have no idea. By the way, Philly 500 is going to join us. By the way, Xander, before we bring Mark Holmes up, could you please play what Michael Irvin said in the first hour of the program about Jalen Hurts? By the way, I happen to agree with my teammate, but I should say I happen to disagree with my teammate, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Philly 500 now also is with us. So go ahead. Got to turn the sound up. Can't hear it, Xander. Okay, we can't hear it. Let's see if we can get it up again here. Thank you very much. Monday to Friday, 2 to 6 Eastern. Try to get it up. How you doing? So Playmaker came on the program and basically said that Jalen Hurts was elite. I don't know how this is going to go over well. Here it is right here. Let's see if we can do it again. I have to, because we're based in Philly. What's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in the NFL? Do you think he's an elite player?
Oh, listen, I think he is absolutely an elite player, and even being more elite, being more than an elite player, he's an elite leader. You know, Aaron Rodgers is an elite player. He's an elite player, but his elite player goes to this team. He can't make that team elite because you got to be a quarterback that everybody knows that you are for them, and you cannot just be for him. You see what I mean? So that's what Jalen Hurts has. Now, we talk about the up and down play. His up and down play is up and down according to when
A.J. Brown
down.
Yeah,
and that's A.B. Brown. You know what I'm saying? That's A.J. Brown right there. When he's up, he's up. When he's down, it's down. Because he's the cover-up receiver. You know, he's that area code receiver. As long as I got that fella, I can put the ball up and make great plays. That's what he needs. And he is definitely an elite quarterback.
All right. It's time for Battle Royale between Mark Holmes and his 3-4 Cowboys versus the 5-2 Philly 500 Philadelphia Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Battle Royale, Mark Holmes and Philly 500. How you doing, fellas?
What's happening? How you doing, Sills?
How are you doing? And first and foremost, Mark
How
Holmes.
you doing, Mark? Let me put on them 5-2 glasses right here.
What do you make of Playmaker coming on the show today saying that he just threw it through a window? Hey, what did you make of Playmaker, one of his legends, coming on the program and saying Hurts is an elite quarterback?
I thought it was great.
Look at it, dude. Mark, retort.
Can you give me 5 minutes to go to the liquor store?
No. Dude, you know what, man?
Hey, Sills.
You
Mark
know
thought
what's
he was
funny?
coming on with Michael Irvin. He got stuck with me.
I was just like, I see how the hierarchy goes here because Lord knows you were kissing all over his ass. I mean, you were kissing his ass like crazy.
Who?
Mike Irvin. Oh man, y'all yucking it up, grab ass and everything else.
Well,
Me,
we
you
have
just
known
bend
one
over.
another for 40 years. I mean, we had to play together, and a couple times.
I'm here for comic relief. I got it.
Hey, no. I know how. You know what you are. You're like a Democratic guy who runs for office. Give me something else to think about, and not the actual facts here. What in the world do you make of that comment from one of your superstars that he called the quarterback in your division elite?
You know, here's what you want to know. Honestly, you guys actually made the argument why your team is doing good and why mine looks like trash.
Expand.
You made the argument because you talked about, I believe, you and Baltimore basically being the best two running teams in the NFL. You said 165 you're averaging a week. And
166, and they're about 220.
Right. Okay. And it's safe to say that that's helped make your team better and make your quarterback more effective, right?
Correct.
So what do you make of a team that is getting 72 yards a game?
You have no shot.
There you go. That's all I can say. We got no shot whatsoever. This is about as bleak as I felt in a long, long time as far as the Cowboys go.
You think you're going to win 2 more games this year?
I think we will. I think we'll actually, if we actually get Micah missing in action, as you say, if we can get Deron Bland back, that might help some too. Because here's the bigger issue on the Cowboys, something that people don't really look at too much. With Dan Quinn, we took the ball away. We were on the plus side of takeaways. Right now we're -8. I don't even remember the last time we got a takeaway, and those things kill you as a. I'm just gonna sit here, just throw the water balloons at me and everything. I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet. Just take
I think you got more important things to worry about, like the defensive back going out and shitting all over a reporter because he posted something bad about it.
But you know what it's all about. Literally, you know what happened 15 minutes ago? Him and the reporter basically made up. They both had cans of D's nuts that they exchanged. It's all a circus show, bro.
Oh man.
It's all about the publicity, man.
All right. Well, let me talk about a team for a second then, and I'll talk about the Eagles here. What about your boy now, the last 3 weeks? Is this something we're going to see the rest of the season, in your opinion? I think he's got another bottles, right? Go ahead. Is this something we're going to see?
As long as they stick to the game plan, man. If they keep playing this kind of balanced offense and running the ball, I think you'll see it continue. I mean, this is the formula for Hurts, right? We talked about this last week. 20 to 30 throws a game, somewhere in that range, and you run the ball. And if you stay balanced, let me tell you, this team is a scary team to play in the playoffs if they continue to be this balanced. They just have to continue to do it. This is a team that is built to play in the playoffs and win in December and January.
Mark, I'm going to give you some statistics here about AJ.
Circle jerk here, okay,
and about AJ and Jalen Hurts. Without AJ on the field, Jalen Hurts' numbers are 10-12. He's 0-2 in the playoffs. He's about 60% completion percentage, 26 TDs to 17 turnovers, interceptions actually, and he has a quarterback rating of 83. So if that player's not on the field, that player and that offense implodes. So, I mean, when people tell me that he's an elite guy, how can an elite guy be relying on someone other than himself?
Yeah. So herein lies the.
Wait, Philly, am I wrong? Those are numbers.
Well,
that
I mean,
He's average.
what is he supposed to do? Throw to himself? You have to rely on the person you're playing with to catch the ball. So, I mean, unless you're Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I think every other quarterback is going to have to rely on
and Lamar. And Lamar.
Well, hold on.
Rely on players too,
Shut the fuck up. Hold on. Shut the fuck up for a second here.
Hey, shut up, you alcoholic.
No. I want you to understand.
Go drink another drink.
No. Listen.
Oh, I know what he's doing. He's going to go try to turn this into the Dak Prescott excuse bullshit.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let your boy off the hook again.
Here's what's
Let him go. Go ahead,
so
Peg
funny.
Bundy.
Listen to you guys.
Peg
You
Bundy
all
over here.
say, oh, well, it's not, one of the elite quarterbacks like, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes. Didn't every one of those guys just trade for another weapon? Didn't they all just go out and say, let's get another freaking weapon? Do you think that Jalen Hurts would be doing shit if he did not have Saquon Barkley with A.J. Brown?
I think that Jalen Hurts, like most every other quarterback in the league,
without that running game, he would not be doing shit. Just like
they had
Phil
to have a
just said, without A.J. Brown, he's average, bro.
They had the running game the year before. They had a running game last year. You're doing what you always do, and this is the problem with people have with you. You're making this all about Dak Prescott. You're already trying to. I know where you're going with this. You're already trying to turn all this around into Dak Prescott. Oh, my boy, Dak Prescott doesn't have a running game.
It's
well,
bigger
what happened
than Dak
to
Prescott.
the first
It's
8
the
years of
Dallas
his career?
Cowboys. How
I
fucking
don't
they are.
disagree with you. I've said it all year long. I tried to tell you in the summer, Mark, your team has no running game. And you said, well, we got Randy Orton from Taco Bell, or whatever the hell the guy's name is.
He might do a better job than Zeke right now, or Cook.
And then now you're acting like, oh my God, it's a shocking revelation. The Dallas Cowboys don't have a running game. We already know that.
Holy cow here. What's the problem with Dak, man? I mean, tell me, or is there a problem with Dak?
You just made the case for it when you just pointed out A.J. Brown, how inept Jalen Hurts is without.
Well, wait a minute here. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a running game.
He had Pacheco till he got hurt, and then they ended up bringing back shit.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. You got the guy drinking vodka.
Bro,
wait a minute,
bro.
You got the guy drinking vodka on the sidelines, Dalvin Cook. Why can't you put his ass in the game?
We did this weekend. Boy, that was great. 6 carries for 8 yards. Yeah. We literally had Brock Purdy with 56 yards, which is exactly what we ran the football as a team. Can't run the football. Can't get guys open. We give up more pressures than anybody else. And the only person everybody looks at is Dak Prescott. Is he making mistakes? Is he making?
There it is.
Do you think they're sabotaging Dak? What? Hang on. Why are they paying him $60 if they're not building a team around him?
Real question here. If you put Jalen Hurts on the Cowboys right now,
he'd get killed.
Now, okay, what would the record be?
But anybody would get killed.
Okay, then why are we saying what's the problem with Dak? Nobody
had said anything about Dak until you.
I agree with you, Mark. I agree with you. The problem is that your organization, because of the overspending and the over-evaluating of the guys that you have,
over-evaluating our guys.
Okay, and how about this? How come the Eagles add players the last 3 years and you subtract players the last 3 years?
Well, I'm going to say we decided to do things like pay Terrence Steele when he's got an ACL injury, $82 million. We decided to play Michael Gallup a $52 million contract when he's recovering from an ACL. See, here's where you know what the problem is? You had Jerry Jones. Remember this summer, everybody thought it was cute. Grandpa's doodling and stuff on a notepad. Like, Stephen Jones. Look at Jerry. He's got the. That's the mindset of him. First of all, the fact that you're still using a notepad when nobody uses a freaking notepad anymore. Second thing, you're just sitting here doodling when we need to try and do
work. He uses a flip phone. Jerry Jones has a flip phone.
So, unfortunately, our brain trust has gone the way of Tom Landry. Tom Landry was innovative back in the day. But by the 80s, everybody had passed him by. He was still stuck doing the same stupid shit.
I'm watching Philly over here, and
yeah, I know you guys.
You know what? He is having so much fun at your expense right now.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man.
Hey, I love you too. I love you too.
Hey, so how you feeling about Nick Sirianni right now? You know, you need to have a great head coach to win a Super Bowl.
Listen, I have been very critical of Nick Sirianni this year, but I got to give him credit right now. He's doing a good job. I have no issues with Nick Sirianni, especially over the last few weeks. I thought the whole thing on the sideline with Saquon Barkley looked really good. I think the way, to me, it seems like he's kind of backed off a little bit on the offense and doing things he likes to do and getting a little more balance. So I have no issues with him right now. He's doing fine.
For you, Mark, does Jerry Jones fire Mike McCarthy on Black Monday?
Does it matter? I don't care who you bring in as coach right now. As long as the Cowboys are doing the exact same things, you know, where Jerry's going to pick all the coaches and he's going to pick all the players, and we're going to do dumbass.
I think 2025, I think Stephen Jones is going to take more of a leadership role in that aspect from what I'm hearing.
I think, can I say something about that? Okay.
Go ahead, please. I just don't want to talk.
I want to say something. Maybe Jerry Jones isn't the bad guy. All right. Maybe he put talent around your quarterback for 7 years in a row, and he always came up small. I mean, you had a guy, a $60 million quarterback, fourth quarter of a game versus the Niners, over 2 minutes left, down 6, and he has a chance to put that team on his back and come out and go down there and put the win out. And what does he do? He goes 0 for 4. Oh, for
Mark,
4.
Mark, you know what? You know how bad
There's the $60 million man.
I hear what you're saying on that, Philly.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna get you a Jimmy Johnson signed book because
he should have picked it off. He should have been picked off.
I feel for you because I don't know why. If you're not going to put talent around him, dude, you could have had DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, get this in the
Derrick Henry.
Get this. But wait, you could have had Aaron Jones.
You could have had people we could have had that wouldn't have been cap busters.
Absolutely here. All right, Philly. How impressed have you been with the defense and what has happened with Vic? That right now there's only 2 teams in the NFL with top 10 offenses and top 10 defenses, and the Eagles are one of them.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm not going to sit there and say it's perfect. That there's things I think they still need to improve, but it seems like when they put Cooper DeJean in the slot, because I think Avonte Maddox was the big weakness in that secondary. It's been lights out, and it looks like for the most part, it looks like the pass rush is getting better. Nolan Smith has come alive the last few weeks. And then what about the linebacker play? I never thought Zach Bone was going to be what he is. And Nakobe Dean is actually making some plays and staying healthy. So I think the defense is way ahead of where we thought. Man, I'm telling you, the Eagles, if they keep this up and they stick with what they, especially on offense, stick with the formula they're using, they're going to make a lot of noise. They're going to make a lot of noise in this conference.
I'm going to make a comment to you here about your Cowboys here. Now, listen here, man. I mean, how does the rest of this year play out, in your opinion? How do you think it plays out here?
You know what the crazy thing about the Cowboys is?
Oh, here we go.
No.
I know where it's going. I know what you're going to say before you say it.
Fuck it. I'm out of here.
Oh, get your ass down.
Keep it on screen like that, though. That's beautiful. Yeah,
I do like that on screen like that, though, man.
Keep it.
I give you. Wait a minute.
And here's what.
I think you're a man of the people, Mark.
He's more mad at us than his own Cowboys.
Here's what's gonna fucking happen. See, I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know what? Let me tell you a quick story here, okay?
Please.
I'm hearing this historic. Just give me a second. I'm going somewhere here. I'm weaving a bit, okay? Right here at this house, it's 205 years old. Would you believe that George Armstrong Custer helped change Custer?
I thought
That
he was gonna say
literally
Jerry Jones
they
older.
chased the Confederates out of the city of Waynesboro in the closing days of the Civil War, last battle of the Shenandoah Valley. So we
Absolutely.
got George Armstrong Custer. Well, this weekend is Custer's last stand for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, we've got the Atlanta Falcons, and if I could have one wish, just one freaking wish,
Kirk Cousins is going to put 500 yards.
I hear you, but see, Dak Prescott has only lost one game to Kirk Cousins out of I think 9. I'm just saying.
That's quite a battle.
Okay, again, this is Custer's last stand, bro.
So now we're going to give Dak all the credit, right?
The Cowboy. No, I'm not going to give Dak because we might get Micah back, and we might get Deron Bland back, and maybe, and we've actually played better on the road, regardless of the San Francisco game. Actually, in comparison to the way we played at home against San Francisco, that actually looked pretty good too.
This is like a Will Chamberlain reach around. You're going so far
maybe.
around.
Still, I'm weaving. Okay,
All
I'm
right,
weaving.
all right.
Did I say my wish?
Okay.
That my wish is that we actually get a win, and that the game then the following week is actually meaningful. Because see, here's the thing that's funny. Because see, Sil, you did a sales job on me, man. You did a sales job on me. Yeah, you made all these big promises and everything else.
Like
see,
what?
He wanted to be on TV. He wanted to be on there with Michael Irvin.
Oh,
but not with 500.
No. And I remember you were saying you were going to show up in Dallas.
Yeah, no, that wasn't going to ever happen. So I probably. Hey,
did you just Jerry Jones me then? Oh my God! I see why you and Steven Jones are good friends. You promised me the world, and then you lied.
Cowboy. Hey, I'm going to come clean.
Jones, that's your new name.
I'm going to come clean with you because. Hey, wait a minute. I'm going to come clean with you because Xander, as soon as I said that, he goes, never happened. And I was like, no. And then I started realizing it as I've gotten older right now that, I probably shouldn't have said that. So in theory, that was never going to happen. So I probably,
it's a thought that counts.
It was, it was a thought. I really like you a lot. So I kind of thought that I would do it. And I felt good to say it at the time. But I knew full well that I was never going to leave the Dan Cave because I don't leave the Dan Cave. And so now I have to be completely transparent. Me leaving my driveway is like an iconic moment in my life. I just don't do it, dude. I mean, you would have to fly Jerry Jones's helicopter in here, take me to a game, and drop me off there for me to leave my place. It's just, as Xander said, I just, I lied to you. I apologize to you. I guess absolutely lied to you there. Wait.
So here's what's funny. I'm actually going to the freaking game.
Well, hey, I'm really sorry that I'm not there. Wait a minute now. What if I get Jerry to leave you something as a parting gift for me there at Will Call for you? Like a little cowboy helmet signed by, what's his name? Ricky Ricardo.
Ricky Ricardo?
That running back guy you have.
Rico
Baldy. Whatever his name is. Hey, but I do have something to ask you about what Michael said earlier. He said that the guys who are complaining and bitching about the people showing up and walking by when they're lifting and such, you know what he said? Basically, he said, fuck you, man. He goes, this is what it's about being a Cowboy. They pay you handsomely. You pay on one of the most important franchises in America. And if you can't suck that up and you know what you're signing up for, don't come here.
I agree wholeheartedly. If you're telling me that
I actually agree with that too.
You can't lift weights without somebody, then how are you going to be out there when there's,
dude, they did that shit back when they played. Yeah, I mean, this is part of the whole. Hey, Mark, here's the deal. If you don't like it, don't sign with them. You don't have to sign with them. This isn't a military draft.
Yep.
When you go play in Dallas, which I did, when you know what comes with this, and you got to take it in the rear. Sometimes you got to do more shit.
like a gentleman.
Yeah, it hurts more though, Philly, when you're 3-4.
I bet.
Hey,
I tell you what, don't let the Cowboys find a way to win this weekend.
Wait a minute.
Didn't this guy predict San Francisco would lose to Dallas last week?
He did.
Well, okay. Just want to make sure.
Now, wait a minute now. How are you feeling about Doug Peterson coming back to the link?
Whatever. Let's go. Let's kick his ass.
Hey, Philly, can I tell you how I would treat him? Great job, Doug. I love you to help, but I'm going to have to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he come back already? We already played him.
Yeah. 2 years ago.
Yeah, all that stuff's out of the way.
Yeah.
What I want to do is destroy his team. You know, maybe I can get them to maybe maybe we could get Trevon Walker off.
Philly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the date for the Eagles and the Cowboy game?
What, the 10th?
It's the 10th.
Yeah.
Mark?
I'll be there.
I'm going to use a Rocky line, and I'm going to use a Clubber Lang line. All I'm predicting is pain.
Listen, Sills, the fact that Dallas can't run the ball.
I'm fucking crying over there.
They can't run the ball, and they can't stop the run. If that does not fit the Eagles, I don't know what does. I mean, the way the Eagles are playing right now, Barkley's going to have like 245 yards.
Do me a favor, Mark. Tell me how the Cowboy fans and the people that you talk to, which is tons of folks, how are they dealing with all this right now?
Jerry.
For
the first time, I will say, normally Dak always gets all the arrows. Okay, let's be clear here. He always gets all the blame. But people are waking up to the fact that, the Joneses have done absolutely nothing. The worst thing Jerry did was to say all in. And from day by day, you see him just like all over the place with his comments. And people are beginning to realize that Jerry, at 82 years old, running this team and this organization is not the answer. It just isn't. And more fans, because I'm going to tell you, the ticket prices went from upward level from about $400 3 weeks ago to about $300. Now upper level ones are right around $200. Now, the good news for the Joneses is those tickets were already sold. So that's aftermarket value. But for the first time, people are finally saying enough is enough of this bad team.
Wow, man. Not
first
good.
time in 30-something years. How about
well, I'm sitting here thinking about I was 29 the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. My son, Michael Anthony Fitness, was 6 years old. I didn't have gray hair. So I'm just sitting there thinking about all of those years that Jerry Jones has been the guy who's been trying to rebuild and recapture what we had back in the 90s.
I was surprised you didn't name your kid Tony Romo Holmes.
Well, I want to know. I really want to. I have a serious question for you. Why? I mean, do you really think that there's not some more ulterior motive for Jerry Jones and the way he's treated this whole roster
Jerry's
in the offseason?
I think he's run out of gas, dude.
I mean, but he's got his son running it, right? His son's more the general manager now.
Well, I think
but what says?
I mean, he literally. It just seems no.
Mark,
I'm not trying to. I'm for like 10 seconds. I'm not trying to bust your balls. I'm just saying that if you look at this team, at the Dallas Cowboys, it almost seems like Jerry Jones wants to blow this thing up, and he set that team up to fail. It just looks like that.
Then I don't think so. But the thing is they here's how crazy the situation is Jerry Jones goes after one of 5 fan 2 weeks ago. It seems like that was forever ago, right? And that whole thing, boom, it brings in more publicity for him, right? We have the whole situation about the players saying that it's a distraction, right? Jerry gets asked about that. He's like, oh, I'm happy about that. And they're like, why? He said, because it brings in more tours. That's the reason why you wait till the last minute to sign Dak, and CD and everybody else. It's not about saving money because they don't. They end up paying more money doing that. It's about keeping yourself relevant in the news.
Mark, but here's all kidding aside, like Philly said, But here's the problem with the Cowboys here. It's a culture thing, and I'll tell you what it
Oh,
is.
it definitely is.
If you have the owner telling someone off in the media, you turn around and you have another player walking out of the locker room telling a media guy off. You know what that means to me? Remember something. He's not the owner to the players. He's the general manager to the players.
Mm-hmm.
So if the general manager has a right to tell a media guy off, if I'm a player in that building, that means I have a right to tell the player off. But what Jerry's done is he's combined the GM and owner, and he thinks that because they're one and the same, they're not one and the same. They're two completely separate jobs. What's his name? Howie Roseman doesn't own the freaking team. He answers to one guy. He answers to Jeffrey Lurie. Those are his decisions. Jerry has combined both and made it look like he's the Pope of the NFL. Players look at Mike McCarthy in the building and go like this.
He's a joke.
Why do I care what he says when the general manager's talking shit to media people? Oh, wait, he's also the owner. Hey, dude, if I'm a guy in that locker room, I look at that head coach that you have. As good as Mike McCarthy's record is and what he's done, it means nothing to me.
Yeah.
How about this? He has no relevance to me in my career because you know what? If the owner can talk shit, why can't I? And that's why that player. Can you imagine? You just got beat, and you took it as a priority to go talk to some stiff that posted something on something stupid as that. He thought it was something really that got under him, and that was a priority. How about you getting burnt in that game? Was it that more of a priority? That's not what they think anymore because the owner has set that culture up. It's been a culture issue for 29 years.
Yep. And it's not changing anytime soon.
And this is where I think for Nick Sirianni the last 3 weeks, hey, they had a course change. Philly, don't you agree? There's a course change in Philly. Because look at this.
No doubt.
Look at the passes the last 2 weeks. He had 14 passes against like the Giants, and he had only 20 last week. His first 3 games, he was averaging 36 yards, 36 passes a game. They said, we're going to tailor that back.
Yeah, and did you hear? There was something about Baldinger said that some of the players went to Nick and said we got to change things up. I mean, and see that this is why I have to give Nick credit. They did, and they look different. I'm telling you right now, if they continue this balance, if they stick with this, they are going to be tough to beat because they are built for the playoffs. That style of football is built for the playoffs, especially in January. It just is.
Playoffs, Mark. Playoffs.
Don't talk to me about playoffs.
Mark,
I'm just trying to win a game.
Wait, Mark. Final comments, Mark.
I'm just trying to win a game.
Mark, final comments. I want you to tell me here, this week versus Atlanta, what happens with your Cowboys this week? By the way, it's in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
It's in Atlanta, which may be good for the Cowboys, or maybe better.
You tell me. How do you see this playing out?
Well, this is like I said. This is Custard's last stand. If it ends up being that they find a way to get a win, maybe the Cowboys say, let's try and get some help before the trade deadline on Tuesday. If they don't, then you probably look at saying, let's go ahead and fire Mike McCarthy and just get it over with and just tank the rest of the season.
Wow. Philly?
That would be my take on it.
They're going to get their ass kicked. They're going to get their ass kicked.
Hey,
Jack. They got to go up against Bijan Robinson. They can't stop him. Can't stop the run. Kirk Cousins is, to me, I don't know what happened to Kirk Cousins because I remember Kirk Cousins being a big-time choker on primetime. All of a sudden, he started to look pretty good at some primetime games. I think Kirk Cousins and Atlanta is really good. And I just don't know how Dallas is going to do anything when they can't run the ball. And in all seriousness, I mean, listen, that you can't expect Dak to have to do everything himself. You can't. I bust Mark's balls, but you really can't. They got no running game. You see how long it takes Zeke Elliott to get from the line of scrimmage like a yard? It's an hour.
Philly, get this. The average rushing in the NFL, you're facing that this week. Jacksonville's right in the middle of the pack. It's about 123, 124 yards. The Cowboys are the worst rushing attack in pro football. And I got to say this to you, Mark. This might be the worst. This might be the worst rushing attack in Jerry Jones's entire ownership, I've never seen the Cowboys this poor at running the ball. I mean,
I think this in their
I've
history.
never seen this.
I think this is the worst in the history of the Cowboys.
Could be.
Because the Cowboys have always been known as a great
Worst
running
I've
team.
seen.
Yeah.
Worst I've seen.
I don't know how it could get any worse than this.
I've never seen anything.
You literally
like,
had 50. You've reached 100 yards one game so far this season.
That's
and
insane.
Dalvin Cook looked shot too.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
he
he's
didn't look
drinking
good.
shots now on the sideline, so I probably think there's probably something to it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think they're trying. I think this is all intentional by Jerry Jones. I just
that's the theory, at least right now, because we got 21 million right now. They can roll it over next year. They got the triggers on Dak and CD. You go ahead and you get a good draft pick for next year for the new guy,
Trade
and you have some money. I don't. But the problem with trading for the Cowboys, they always pay too much and they get too little. Hell,
well,
Cowboys,
I think for Micah, you could get a couple first rounders for him.
Well, a regular team might. I don't know that the Cowboys would. Remember, we traded Amari Cooper for a fifth. He got traded for a third years later. Okay, we gave up a fourth for Trey Lance. Okay,
Sills, if they would have signed Derrick Henry, who was trying to literally go to Dallas, they would be a completely.
They'd be 5-2.
Yeah. And Jerry's trying to change his tune and say he didn't fit what we were trying to do.
Like
you got to run Derrick Henry.
Hey, Mark, like I told you last week, a chick with big tits and great legs, she's everybody's type. That's what Derrick Henry is. He's everybody's fit. That guy runs people over. Okay? He does. Billy, last one for you. You blow out the Jags the same way you blew out the Bengals?
If they stick to the formula, yeah. I agree. I actually worry about, I think Jacksonville might be without their top 3 wide receivers.
And I think at the end too.
I think they're actually going to beat this team by more. I think the Eagles, look, they're not there yet. They haven't peaked yet, but they're starting to figure it out. And if they continue with this philosophy on offense, they're gonna destroy this Jacksonville. It's not even gonna be. It'll be over.
Mark, I'm just curious. What stage of grief are you in right now? Denial? Are you in anger?
He's angry. He's angry.
You're in
angry.
stages
and
right now.
Billy, stop texting me. Stop texting me, bro.
Mark, I think you were an all-star today because listen, there's really no answers in Dallas right now. And the only answer that you can get is beat Atlanta. If you don't beat Atlanta, dude, you're going to be 3-5.
Pain.
Although we were once 3-5.
How would that be? How beautiful would it be to have Dallas 3-5, and then the Eagles go in there and finish them off for the year? It's it. You stomp them out. That's it. In Dallas. I love it.
And I'll be there for Custer's last stand.
Hey, so like you'd be like Khabib choking out someone like Conor McGregor at the end there, right? That's what you're looking at there. A Khabib choke out on the Cowboys on the 10th.
I can't believe, Sills, that you
I lied.
Stephen Jones me. I can't believe you did that to me.
I have to admit
he is a former Cowboy.
Hey, wait, I lied. I have to come clean. I lied.
My fans have actually. I'm going to keep it in my back pocket. They've got a knock on you. They've got a nickname for you, but I'm going to keep it in my back pocket.
Oh, I'm sure they do. hey, look, no, I lied.
I'm going to save it for desperation time.
Listen, I lied. Okay, I did. I just bull-faced lied. I was never going to leave. I don't know why I even said that. I mean, I have to have a true comment here, and I have to have an epiphany with myself. I'm sorry for lying to you, Mark. I'll even say that to you. Okay, it was never going to happen. Just not going to happen. Holy cow! He's Stevie Wondering you. Boys, I love you guys so much.
Thank you,
man. I love both of you guys. Thank you, Philly 500.
Thank you so much.
On his fabulous channel and Mark on his spectacular channel as well.
Thank you. Mark, have a great day, Mark. Have a great day, Mark. Be happy. All right. Yeah. They stink, Mark.
Kiss my ass.
They stink. They stink.
Oh my God, man. I love Mark Holmes. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I do, man. Absolutely great stuff. Philly 500, Mark Holmes, Battle Royale. These guys are that's my favorite segment of the week. I had more fun doing that than talking to Michael Irvin today. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I did. All right, guys, hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in,
Decisions,
the dark.
the dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid
as long as you face the fear.
and keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood day.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. My goodness, Philly 500. You were spectacular with Mark. Thanks for having us, Big Sills. Thanks, everyone, for watching. You guys were absolutely great. I love having him on. By the way, Xander, if we missed some super chats, please do me a favor. Can we roll through them? Because I know some folks sent some through, and we always say anybody who put the supers up there, we make sure that we always read them because you guys have been absolutely awesome. Please hit the like button. I'd like to see if we can get to 400 likes by the top of the hour and making sure that we get all of that out there. You guys have been unbelievable these last 3 days here this week. Take on a Yankee fan, grabbing Mookie's glove. I absolutely love it. Defend your turf. Way to be a great fan. Yankee fan, I love you. I'm not going to be like a media guy and call the guy a tool, what have you, and talk down the fans. That's not what I'm going to do. Hey, it's a baseball game. The ball was coming towards the seats. He has a right to grab the ball as long as he doesn't go into the field of play. Now, you could debate whether or not he did. Did he take it out of his glove? Okay, throw him out. He said he's willing to be thrown out. All right, throw him out. Call him out. Okay. Fan being a fan, you want me to shit on that? Not going to happen. Especially a Yankee fan. Can you imagine trying to do that shit in Philly? Those cops might have got smacked around. You imagine taking a football out of an Eagle fan? If somebody just threw a football in the stands and the guy goes, give me the ball back, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm not giving you the ball back. Come get it. I'm not giving you the football back. You know, over that net, place kicker kicks it over, right? Or it goes into the stands. I'm not giving you that ball back. Come get it. No, not happening. Fans have a right. Hey, not going to work. Ask Mark about Diggs. I did. He's like, yeah, it's a problem because the cancer in the locker room there. If the general manager could talk shit to media people, why can't a player? Absolutely, man. I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff. I really don't. If we have any more supers, Xander, let me know, man. We'll read them there. Okay? Custard lost. Yeah, he got buried where he lost. Jerry didn't want Henry. Didn't want him. Sydney, he's got 2 homes in Dallas, too. And he wanted to play there. Now he's on pace for 2105. Crazy stupid. 21 touchdowns, too. Absolutely, man. Hey, get this. Look at Yale. My wife was at this game. So Ty Domi was playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And a Lightning fan started squirting water on Ty Domi. Domi grabbed the guy, and I know Ty Domi well. Pulled him in and started beating the shit out of him inside the penalty box. He just started wailing on him. I'm like, I'm good with that too. Hey, you want to get on the field? Be prepared to get body slammed like James Harrison did. Oh, Flyer game. That's right. It was a Flyer game. My bad. Hey, but Yale, I've also seen that at a Lightning game. Hey, James Harrison picked the guy up and slammed him. Okay? Stills, are you concerned about Washington? I picked him to win the East. I did. Hey, yeah, that happened down at down in Tampa too. Guy fell into the penalty box. Someone kicked the shit out of him. It's crazy great. Yeah, Custer lost in Dakota. He did. Wow, Chuck, way to tie that in. Hey, Dakota Prescott, I love it. That's a great tie-in, Chuck. Nicely done. Okay? I like that, man. Yeah, the Spectrum was a great place. Great wing bowl. Absolutely. May I say something before we didn't get a chance to go through the trades. We got a bunch of other stuff in here too. CBS came out with their top 10 quarterbacks. I kind of don't agree with it. MVP race, a little bit on Nick, what he said today. Please hit the like button. May I say something? So we're in the political final 2 weeks of this election. This is not going to be about Kamala Harris or Trump, but it's going to be more about the NFL. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Nick Bosa had a MAGA hat on. And he kind of like, he kind of dropped in. I think it was Purdy that they were talking to. And he had a MAGA hat and he started pointing to it. And of course, some of the lamestream woke media people want him to either be suspended or fined because of that. And I say this to you. Well, when Jalen Hurts has on the back of his helmet, Black Lives Matter, that's a political statement too. I don't think any of it should be in. You don't go to games to see any of that shit. And I'm not saying one's more important than the other. But if you're going to castrate one and you're going to be upset with one because you hate a particular candidate and you got another political statement by two people, the NFL can't legislate that. If I'm a players association, this got nothing to do with Trump or the VP. This has got to do with what's right and wrong. I think it all should be out. Keep it all out. I'm not saying, no. I want it all out. Because if you're going to take the kneeling out, okay, and you're going to take Kaepernick's kneeling out, well, take out Black Lives Matter and the MAGA hat stuff, and I'm all good with it. I think you got to be balanced in this stuff. Because then you'd be looking like Major League Baseball or the NBA, trying to tell you who to vote for. NFL today, the Philadelphia Eagles posted Eagle players playing with Barack Obama golf. You know what my problem with that is? Are you endorsing a political party? Because Obama's in Philadelphia to endorse Kamala Harris tonight. So that's Jalen Hurts too. So are you guys really subtly, like you did with the billboards, endorsing a political party? That's a problem because half your audience is the other side. To me, I'm Michael Jordan. Republicans buy shoes too. I'm not in this for my personal political beliefs. I'm in this as a person who sells tickets, merchandise, goodwill. That's my job. Okay? I'm not looking to pick a side. I don't want to pick a side. Privately, I can. You know, that's the coolest thing about Muhammad Ali that I'll always admire about Muhammad. He never protested in the ring. Ali did all of his protesting, and he was fabulous at it outside the ring. He never disrespected an opponent or the sport he participated in, ever. He's my favorite athlete of all time. Ali's so great, he's underrated on how great he is and was. I've never seen he's known in every corner of the world. Tom Brady's not. Okay? Tom Brady. Okay? I swear, I want it all out. I'm not, well, hey, if you're going to put the MAGA in, you got to take the Black Lives. No, I want it all out because I want all of us to feel, hey, if you're going to take the commander's name down, Jesus Criminy, what are we doing here? Picking and choosing? Well, I don't like the commander name, but I do like the Black Lives Matter, but I hate the MAGA hat. Jesus Criminy. Now you're acting like a political activist instead of a National Football League that's there to service consumers. You're not bigger than who you are. That's right, Yale. That's all I'm asking here, Yale, is just be consistent. Okay? Just be consistent. That's it. There are no right sides in politics. Yeah, correct. They're all fools. Amen. The only winners are the lobbyists. Correct. Who control the money? Dude, let's keep it at us. Yes. Best take I've seen Prince have in quite a social take in a long time. That's a great take. I completely agree with you, Prince. 1,000%. So I'm not going to expand any more on that, but come on, man. You can't do anything to Nick Bosa that you don't do and you don't put on the back of NFL helmets. By the way, the problem you have with the NFL is they stick that shit on their own gear. This guy wears a hat. You got a problem with it? Come on now. Come on now. Okay? My MVP vote, we're going to get to that here in a minute. We're going to also talk about Nick. I also want to go back to the trades that we didn't get a chance to do here. But I do want to do this. Please hit the like button. Guys are great. Thank you. Hey, and Jarrell, I want you to understand something. Black Lives Matter, if you guys, that's all cool, man. You want to be part of a group like that supports folks? I have no issues with your own way that you do things and how you get this. You want to hear something crazy? I went to a Black Lives Matter rally with my daughter. I have video of it. You know why? I wanted to make sure we're going to be fair and equal here. somebody starts doing something to my daughter, I'm going to fucking kill you. I didn't go for the political side of it. I went for it to make sure my kid was okay. I didn't care about any of the politics. Okay? So I was there. But if somebody was going to get crazy with my kid, I was going to be a hound dog. Okay? So I was going to be a hound dog, and I was prepared to break glass if needed be. Hey, I do too, Yale. I stay away from that shit. Okay? All right. I'm not sure if CBS, okay? Get this. What's this? No, I went to the Black Lives Matter rally, so I was watching out for the safety of my daughter. Not because I wanted to prove that I have black friends, you asshole. I don't have black friends. I have friends. I don't label people like you. I don't have black friends. I don't have white friends. I have friends. My God, anytime you see a guy like this who puts a color on friendship is a complete loser. This guy's a loser. I don't have black friends, dude. Okay? None. I don't have black friends. I have former teammates. People who love me. Know me 40 years. You think I love Michael Irvin? And I brought Michael Irvin on because I wanted to show you that I like black guys? Did that sound like that? Get this. See what this asshole just did? This guy's a microcosm of what's on the internet about me. You think I fucking brought Michael Irvin on my program to make you feel better that I feel that I'm trying to show you that I'm not a racist? Wow. You're demonic. People like that are demonic. I've known that man 40 years, not because he's black, because he's my friend. Yeah, I call M. Reyes you people because you people, you are an idiot. And M. Reyes, how would I even know what the fuck color you are? I mean, how about you, Joe Whipp? All right. You know what? You're right. Hey, how about this? You're right. Hey, Jarrell. Yeah. Hey, Jarrell, then you understand where I'm coming from. I don't care where it is. Big Sills is going to be like a watchdog on top of a hill, dog. You come near my kid, man. We're going to see old Sills break out of the break. Hey, Jarrell, break in case of war. I'll show you this guy. I'll show you that guy that threw a dude out of a window. Hey, I can easily get there. I'm more of a pacifist now. Shut up, Prince. Oh, man. All right, man. I appreciate it. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's me, basement tough guy. Sure. Yeah, that's it. That's what I do. Basement tough guy. Okay. Hey, what's this? Okay, sure. Sure. And so here is CBS. Stills, daughter dating a brother? I'd have no problem with that. Why would I have a problem with that? Hold on here. Why would I have a problem with that? My kid's happy? I don't care if the guy's green. You think I'd have a problem with my daughter dating a black guy? Why would I have a problem with that? Where do people come up with this stuff? Do you just make this shit up? I no. Oh, okay, Harold. Yeah, no. If he was cool to her, he was great to her, of course I'd be okay with it. Harold, can I say something to you, Harold? Hey, Jarrell. Stu. She ain't ever going to marry an Italian guy. No way. No way is she marrying an Italian guy. They're dirty. They're nasty. They're full of shit. I told her that ain't happening. You never marry an Italian. That's not happening. Wait, Dad, you don't want me to marry somebody? That no Italian guys. None. No, we're not having that. They don't tell the truth. They're a bullshit artist. They lie. No. Of course. Look at what do you think she is? So look at Jimmy. She's Italian, ain't she? Really? No. My name is Silioski. I'm a Polak. No, Silio's Polish. Oh my God. You're the best. What? We are the best. What are you talking? I know. You're right, Philly. You're right. It's time to get back to and off the bullshit here. So CBS hates. I'll tell you what, man. They rolled back into Hurts here. Here's CBS's top 10 quarterbacks. Lamar 1, Allen 2, Jared Goff 3, Jaden Daniels 4, Joe Burrow 5. Xander had him high yesterday. Brock Purdy 6, Baker Mayfield 7, Justin Herbert 8, Jalen Hurts 9. They had Patrick Mahomes 10th. I took their list and put my 10 in. I got Allen number 1, Josh Allen. Lamar 2, Mahomes 3, Goff 4, Daniels 5, Burrow 6, Purdy 7, Mayfield 8, Herbert 9, and Hurts 10 off their list. Okay? Off their list. All right. Let me get back to doing the Philly, if you're still in here, chime in on this here for me. First and foremost, Philly, if you're still in here, listen. Do you think that Howie Roseman has to make a trade by November 5th, 4 p.m. Eastern? And if that trade happens, is it A, B, C, or D move? For me, I think he's going to make a C+ move. I think it's going to be a C+ move. Trey Hendrickson would probably cost you a third. And I'm a fan of that. But I think he's going to Detroit. I think he's going to Detroit. And boy, I'll tell you what. Next year, when you have Aiden Hutchinson and him as your two defensive ends, Detroit's going to be a problem. So if you're Philly, you might want to stop that. You might want to stop that. Okay? All right? I don't believe they're going to go O-line. He should try. It's okay, but he doesn't have to. I say go for the big move. So he's talking more like a Max Crosby and like a Max Crosby or a Trey Hendrickson. No, Max Crosby or a Myles Garrett kind of move. That's huge. Those are huge moves. And that's going to cost you equity. Okay, that's going to cost you a lot of equity if you're going to go after those guys. Those are big. Yeah. He's actually right here. This is kind of what we've been saying. You kind of want to start blocking Brad Holmes and the GM of that team because he's acquiring great talent. Hey, don't be shocked if they make a move. If Jacksonville gets beat Sunday, could you see Jacksonville moving Josh Allen to Detroit? Yeah. Calais Campbell, I brought up for depth. Trayvon Walker is on the trading block, as Philly's saying. He is. He's on the trading block, and I like the player. and I like the player. Okay, I do. Like he used the whole team. Dude, he's built that whole team. He really has. By the way, I like the kid Adams in Washington, what he's doing right now, James Jones. I think he's doing a great job. Look at this dickhead. No, not this guy. Hold on. And I'm not calling you that, Abe. Sills, Mahomes has a record of 2-1 without Kelsey. Could Kelsey be the benefit to Mahomes' career? He is. Same way Gronk was. Abe, do you think Gronkowski would have put up the same kind of numbers in Super Bowl numbers, Abe? Abe, I wasn't calling you that. Do you think he would have put up the same numbers, say, if Ryan Tannehill was his quarterback? Absolutely not. If Walker Allen available, that's where I go. Man, those are huge moves. Those are absolutely huge moves if you do something like that. I could tell you hung out with a lot of black folks growing up, Sills. You know what, though? I think he's in jest. Not at all when I grew up. When I got to college, I did. And it was the greatest experience of my life. Finally realizing there's a world out there. Yeah. Absolutely. Greatest education I ever had was being roommates with many of my friends at Miami. Correct. And as Jarrell, who's in the military, could probably tell you, hey, Jarrell, when you're deployed, Jarrell's going to look exactly like me. Now, his job is more significant than what mine ever was because I just played football. This guy fights for our country, defends our country. You think he's looking over at the guy next to him going, oh, he's white. Wow. Or does he think he looks over at the guy going, this guy's got my back? That's what it's about. Having your back. Getting your back has no color. Okay? Doesn't. Great stuff, man. Jarrell's a great dude. What a great person. What a top of the flight guy defending our country. I love military people. Jarrell, I got a coin that do I still have that coin here? I have a coin. Oh, here it is. So I get a coin here. I got a coin here. And this is Peace Through Power. It's called the Chief Bowl. We are the arms of the fleet. Have you ever heard of this, Jarrell? The Fleet Bowl. This is a coin from the Fleet Bowl. Aviation, ordnance man. Honor courage and commitment. Semper Fortis. And this is right here. I was presented this by ordnance people that worked on an aircraft carrier, the Carl Vinson. And they gave this to me, and I kind of carry it with me. See? These are the people that put the bombs on the bottom of the F-16s. Semper Fortis. I keep it right here with me. Love it. Oh. Seals, do you think Anthony Richardson benching is good or bad for his career? Should they have kept playing him to develop him? I have an issue with the benching of Richardson. You drafted him 4th. He made a completely dumbass of himself by pulling himself out of the game. Okay. If you're benching him because he's playing poorly, that's one thing. If you're benching him for that, that's not a teaching moment. Young players make mistakes all the time. And if you're benching him for that, that's not a reason to bench him. It's a reason to get in his ass, but you drafted him 4th. You didn't draft him in the 4th round. You drafted him 4th. Okay? So what are you going to do with him? You going to beat him up in his 2nd year? I don't know. Now, again, if you come to me and say, Joe Flacco gives us the best chance of winning, and right now you're just not playing well, that's one thing. And that's a fair comment and a fair valuation. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that you can't coach the kid, kids mess up, man. Kids mess up. They mess up. You know, well, here's what I think, Yale. I think Shane Steichen says, I've got here. I thought he was a good character too. He could have had a bad moment. No, I don't believe he's a quitter. You don't get to that level being a quitter. But I will say this, Yale. I think Shane Steichen looks at that psychotic owner, Jim Irsay, and I think what that may have come down from him. Remember how fast they moved off of what he thought of with Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz had a good year the year before. He had a really good year in Indianapolis, but he just did not like him. That may have come from that psycho owner and not Shane Steichen. So you got to remember when you're dealing with somebody, oh, yeah, he's a UF quarterback. Okay, he sucks. Okay, he sucks. All right. You got me. Okay. I forgot he's a Gator. Oh, man. Yeah, I forgot he's a Gator. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Nick Sirianni's comments today that he made. I think it's the owner, too. Do like Baron Browning backing backup linebacker, Denver. Vic drafted. Nice take. Okay. Sills, you said I remind you of Ice Cube. Tell him you don't see him as a black man and see what he says. I've already told him that. He knows that. I've known Ice Cube for 20 years, 25 years. I don't look at any of my friends as black. I look at them as my friends. And it's not important how I see him. It's important how I see others. And it's not important how others see me. Your impression of me is your own. How you see me is your thing. Okay? I can only take care of myself. Okay? And how I treat others. How you look at me, I have no control of that. I have no control of that. I don't know what else you want me to say. When you start trying to bend over, making sure other people like you, that's when you get in trouble, dog. That's when you get in trouble. I don't worry about what others think of me. I can't. Read the internet. People have never talked to me or know me, have all these crazy impressions about me. Like the guy Paul Domowitz said I bring up. I've never met him. I've never spoke to him. I've never had an interaction with him. He came on this network and told everyone he hated my guts, and I'm not a very good man. I don't know where he got that from. Others that don't know me? Okay. I don't know where he got it from. I've never spoken to him. So I have no idea. And all I say is, good luck to you, man. I hope, all good. Nick Sirianni. I think he's had a pretty good 2 weeks. Okay? Get this. I'm not trying to convince you of shit, dude. Hoss, your day's over with me. I'm not trying to convince. I could care less. Hoss, honestly, if you're hit by a bus, I could care less with your takes today. Box of rocks. Trying to convince you? You must think I care that much about you or I have respect for you. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. That guy must think, Twiz and Abe, I love these guys. Yale, Matt, you guys are all wonderful. All right. Let's have some dialogue with all the folks in here that have focus. Yeah, there you go. So that's like boys saying there's a tree. Facts when everyone likes you. No, in it. What apology video? What has he done? Sills, where is my apology video to Hurts? What has he done? What apology? Because he played great in a Bengal game? There's no apologies for 3 hours of football. Sorry, dude. What exactly are you talking about? Apology for what? Playing a good game? Congratulations for doing your job. I don't know about Zach Taylor. He has not played great all season. This is an absolute lie. No, he hasn't. He's played good for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. They've played 8 weeks of football. That's a complete lie. Okay? All right. Here is old Nick Sirianni. Jalen Hurts has been working on his progression reading, says Nick. And you're starting to see it work in games. This is a good sign. He said Jalen did something in the game on Sunday that was really cool. He let the second option and the second target clear. Jalen saw it, and he was able to read the defense and progression read through it to throw to the primary target. That's outstanding. Okay? He says checkdowns. You're starting to see more of them. What I didn't like from Sirianni today was the covering of Dotson. Dotson really is working hard in run blocking. I can get any stiff, any free agent stiff, or 6th or 7th rounder to be really good in blocking. Howie gave up a third for him. And he has absolutely what's the numbers? I'm going to show you something. Dotson has been a complete disaster. And why Dotson is a complete disaster is because it cost you a third. And so what's the numbers here? Here it is. Dotson's numbers. Jahan Dotson. He has 286 snaps, 6 catches for 35 yards. Six catches for 35 yards and 282 snaps. I don't know where we're going here with this. I could have got any stiff to do that. I mean, he's really great in blocking. You know, did you see him down the field throw his body across? It was really remarkable to watch. I couldn't believe it. It was really remarkable to watch. I couldn't absolutely believe it. I want to take one. I couldn't really believe it. Oh my God. We need a roll. But it needed a ball of the ball. I don't better be ball. Kiss my ass, Xander. You know when you watch Charlie Brown, those like Christmas things, don't you hear this sometimes when you see Nick at the podium? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shut up. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, that's all right. Me and Pander Xander have a good understanding. Oh, man, Jahan Dotson. Yeah, my relationship with Doug, I like to keep that private. He really helped me in the transition on going and being a head coach at Philadelphia. You want translation for that? You have to learn how to kiss Howie's ass, which he did today all day long. Howie really did a great job at building this team. I was like, oh, my God, again, not with the Howie in the building. Hey, you're not the Howie in the building. Yeah, Doug probably said, hey, man, you got to gobble the goo. You got to walk around on your knees. How tall are you, Nick? I'm about 6'3". No. In Philly, you're 5'3" because you're walking around on your knees all day. Oh, my God. Hey, you're not 6'3" any longer when you walk into NovaCare. You're 5'3". You're walking around on your knees all day. Hey, Howie, everybody's got a crick neck when you walk in there. What happened? How come my neck hurts? Because I'm looking up at. Oh, my God. Oh. Cam Jurgens done a nice job. He really has taken over for Jason Kelsey. It's been pretty good, man. Sills, how about the legend Michael Irvin? What about him, Cosmo? He was great today. He was great today. Yeah, that's what, hey, Nick didn't want to tell you all the good things that Doug said. Well, listen, you got to walk around on your knees all day at the NovaCare. Your neck's going to be hurt, so get a brace. Do me a favor, make sure you wear a bib because you're going to be doing a lot of sucking on the binky. Oh, my God. That's how he helped me get through my transition on being a head coach in Philly. You got to walk around on your knees a lot. Oh, wait, you're right. Hey, Sills easy, my friend. I know they're going to get calls from Hair Bob Lang, so I'm sure we'll get calls from him. All right, hey. Don't forget, my friends, make sure you team up with our great friends at BetUS. We have teamed up with our friends at BetUS, and we're very proud of the fact that we get a chance right now to have you hook up with our YouTube 150. Sign-in bonus is up to $2K. Your second sign-in bonus is 125%. Your third is also 125%. If you want to go crypto, that's 200%. And sign-up bonuses for you. All you have to do is go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year, live wagering on all major games. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. What an absolutely fabulous read. And keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services. The first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Red Sills, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. We'll talk Yankees a little bit here in a minute against those Dodgers. Thank you guys very much. You guys have been great. By the way, we're 13 away right now, or roughly, to 400 likes. If you could bang it out there for us, we'd really appreciate it. You guys were insane today in the super chats. You have been unbelievably generous to us these last couple days. Really, I mean, always, if you want to be candid about it. And also on the likes, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. You know, Xander brought this up yesterday, and I wanted to do a little bit more research on it. Quinyon Mitchell, Kristen Watson, 1 catch, 6 yards. Drake London, 1 catch, 5 yards. Mike Evans, 2 catches, 19 yards. Amari Cooper, 1 catch, 10 yards. Malik Neighbors, 1 catch, 9 yards. Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 16 yards. What's significant about these numbers, albeit they're great? What's significant about it? What's significant about what you're seeing there? They're not going back to him. Okay? Yeah, and no touchdowns. That's a really great one too, Abe. I mean, they're not going back for like multiple opportunities at him. I mean, the most guys have had catches on him. Evans had 2, and Chase had 2. I mean, these are really exceptional numbers. This is really, I mean, can I make this comment and be okay with it? Hey, Sills, has he locked down the top wide receivers in the first 8 weeks of the season? Has he been one of the better corners in the league in the first 8 games? Yeah. That's really great because you're not seeing offensive coordinators want to go back at him again. You feel me? I mean, they're not, hey man, this can't be real. No, they're buying how good he is. Okay, they're buying how good he is. Now, it also helps that Slay's not played poorly on the other side. The problem with Slay, though, he's in and out of the lineup. I'm going to tell you guys this. When I have a problem with them dealing Slay, if Isaiah Rodgers can step into that role, I don't think so. I mean, Slay's on his last wheels here, man. I mean, he's on his last wheels here. See what Jarrell says. That's why I say keep DeJean in the slot. Don't move him outside. Need that attitude on the inside. Yeah, you're right. I dig that too. I'd like to see Isaiah. I'd like to see Isaiah get more reps out there, though, man. I would. I'd like to see that. Business decision. Say he needs to go. Twiz, I'm with Twiz. Isaiah Rodgers, that was a hell of a play that he had out there, too. So, dude, would it be possible? Could this be like, how about this? How about a wet dream here? They move off of Bradbury at the trading deadline, and they have Slay, and they move him out of there. And just the young kids are sitting back there. It'd be crazy. Hey, by the way, Yankees, they kept it going. Do they keep it going again? As long as the fans are involved, the Yankees win. The Yankees will get this thing back to Los Angeles if they allow the fans to keep acting the way they did. Bronx Zoo, baby. That was back last night. I was good with that, man. Let's see what they do tonight against the Dodgers before I start giving them any kind of kudos. It's the Dodgers world right now, but we'll see. All right. Guys were fantastic. Thank you very much for your generosity today. Michael Irvin was awesome. We appreciate it. The Battle Royale was outstanding. Xander thinks he kicked my ass. Now he's like a real media star. So like everyone else, they think they kill Big Sills I know. It's all good. I'm a dying old man now. It's all right. Big Z, Xander, we love you. You know that. I destroyed you. All good. Appreciate you guys. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side.